Alfred Brown, he scored one, and Charlie Hadge as well, not out on five. We had one, two, three, four, five, seven, 8, 10 extras to make up the score of 104. Sorry, 44. And would have been good if they reached 145. But yes, that made up the score. The curator there in Bobby Black, who I think is probably maybe just doing dual service, trying to play cricket, trying to prepare the ground, and maybe not having enough energy to really bat and batter long and to make a lot of runs like he's so used to. Simon Sinkit playing against the Masters and has had some very paltry scores, so to speak. One of the innings that he retired hurt. But it was good to see batters there in Finkett's, Frankie, Preach, the preacher, Grant, who I would have played cricket with when as a young boy coming up. Still, yes, Preach batted very well for Anguilla. Yes, batted very, very well for Anguilla. Yes, man. Still has the goods. Still has all the, the persona and that, aggressive and fighting, spirit that he has. Talkative spirit as well.
living now because I know we lost a family member.
Yes, he's
He came for the funeral. He's
he,
actually living back in St. Kitts.
he's yes, because he was there and
Mr.
played.
Grant.
Yes, Grant. Yes.
He always got the wicket of Mr. Van Zandt.
Yes, so
They were very good friends.
certainly
Lovely
good.
all-rounder.
Yeah, but it's certainly good to see the likes of Dean Bangalore, Western, and still running in and bowling, looking as fit as a fiddle. Yes, they are representing the St. Martin team. It was good little tournament. Yes, yeah, I think he lived in the USVI, and would have represented the USVI, but due to flying flight arrangement around these parts, very difficult to travel to between these little islands, and he was not able to. Well, the team actually from the USVI was not able to be a part of the tournament, but he was able to get onto the St. Martin team and help them out as well. So, still keeping cricket, the Leeward Islands cricket alive, which is all good, even from the Masters perspective. But we would certainly like to see more effort being done, put into Leeward's cricket to help build. As I always say, when the West Indies cricket was up and running, Leeward's cricket was right in the midst of things there. Yeah, but so far we have gone off the boil in these parts here. We're talking about the New Orleans tournament. I'm not seeing that being played in all its full glory. I have to
Yeah,
look up and
transfer to the play this year. Now, St. Kitts is having a competition. This is having their competition this in Jamaica. Actually, they just finished the primary school cricket competition over the years. I got to receive on the behalf of the Giant Mall to sponsor it this year. Giant Mall Stadium and the grade they take from and named it after Nakamoto, which was very good. And speak the names of your former players alike. It speaks a little bit of history. People are going to inquire about it. It's very good. But they have a competition ongoing. And Pig as usual plays. And as I said, St. Martin plays a lot of cricket there. So he is hoping that they can put together the Leeward Islands tournament once again.
certainly, you mentioned the fallen brother there in Arthur Morton as well. I think I saw a message as well that we would have lost to Ralston Otto
Yes.
over the course of last weekend as well. He was, 65 years is, still, still count that to be something as tender. Widowhood 65, but we lost him as well. This whole life that we all have to need that sometimes, but sometimes we still get a little bit, surprised, so to speak, when we hear of the passing of others and well. There's another message as well with one of he was the secretary for the Leeward Masters cricket uh, setup as well. There in the person of his name is eluding me at the moment, but he would have passed on unfortunately last week as well. So condolences, condolences to all of the families and so on. And not missing any cricket. Pitch is still being rolled. The toss has not been had as yet between these two
They
teams.
did
Frankly,
spin the toss.
they did spin the toss.
Yes.
Okay.
I went out to the umpire and came back in.
Oh.
And speaking of Alkins, again, goes to show the things that used to happen with respect to cricket in days gone by. That man for 3-4 years straight made an aggregate of 300 plus, 400 plus runs. Never got into over 15 and a middle order batsman. You know, he was very solid and accumulated runs, as he went along. And it's a pity that he did not get a West Indies, selection. But he deserved one. It was, very, very sad to know that he had passed. But condolences to the cricketing fraternity. And it was one of the guys I looked up to as a cricketer. And then he, got into coaching and so on. Himself, John Archibald and those guys did a good job. So I'm seeing John Archibald did move to St. Martin at one point in time, assisting them there as well. I don't know if he's still there. But also, in my day, was one who should have got a chance at a West Indies bid. Just like the Sophie Joseph. He got easily got in after a while though, but he made a lot of runs as well. It tells you that we, in these past, given the opportunity, would have perhaps been still the crux of West Indies cricket. The years gone by,
Well, yes, we have gotten the news that the General Otto Spartans from St. Martin, they would have won the toss and they electing to bat. And so we will certainly be starting momentarily. And all the preliminaries is been had. Right roller is still on the wicket, or pitch, we call it, rolling here by the curator there in the person of John Jeffords, aka Bobby Black. And so we're in for a good little match here this afternoon. If you certainly not doing anything, you can certainly come out and view some cricket. And if you're not able to do so, and you can do so by way of the social media Charles Mega 4 on the YouTube channel. And you can certainly be picking us to the transistor radio in your homes, in your cars, and on the World Wide Web as well. Radio Anguilla, AXA.com, past FM 92.9. And we are certainly happy for all of our sponsors who have made this possible to be here over the course of the weekend. We've seen here the Revolutions team, just about getting the paces in, the stretches, knocking up and throwing the ball and catching and making sure that they are loose and ready for the start of this match. Commentators booth here, we got John Millington and the man Frankie Claxton. We want to say good afternoon to all of our fellow commentators as well, who usually takes the time to lend their services to bring you ball-by-ball coverage over the airways as these matches unfold. Frankie, it's a beautiful day for cricket. The sun is still in the sky, but it's not as hot as probably when we would have started this morning. And the breeze has just picked up just a tad bit more to whatever heat is out there, whatever humidity is out there at this particular time.
Yeah, it's a good cool breeze blowing across, though. We're hoping that the cricketers down on the lower levels will be experiencing some of that. They would very much need it. Because these days have been pretty hot. And we've got the Williams, we've got Akeem Saunders, we've got Daryl Durham, Jean Rene Belizar, we've got Daniel Mohammed, Fabian David, that's the youngster, I presume, and we've got Randall Landvigil, Langiville, Marinal Wada. So those are the 11. The first man is Anil Pandey. So that's the 11 that we've been given. We are not sure how the batting order is for the Revolutions. We have Hassan Hodge, Stefan Richardson, Oliver Walker, Samuel Connor, Jacob Searle, Jacob Pauls, Damian Hodge, Christopher Bisnat, that's Damian Hodge, and then Charlie from Sinclair, Ramani Hodge, that's the 51. Alright, and there's a right here, there's Mark Bukaran, Jay Lawrence, and T. Hughes. Carlisle Hughes.
Frankie, just a little bit of background information on the general other Spartans out of St. Martin. The team was formed, it was a club that was formed in St. Martin and the St. Martin Cricket Association development team, future champs in 2005. Several players, they had reached the age of 19 and at such stage out of the development team had decided to stick together and form their own team. At that time, the team formed, they were without sponsorship but managed to enter the local cricket St. Martin tournament, T20 tournament, and won the tournament for the first time. They would have entered as a team. Fresh after the victory, they solicited sponsorship from the construction company and called MNE and formed the very first MNE Spartans cricket team. That was in 2005. Well, subsequently, the players continued to stick together over the years and formed a bond, unity, and among all loyalty to each other. They experienced both success and defeat while growing up as a team and as a family. They soon became a powerhouse and beat the St. Martin. They became the favorites to win every tournament held in St. Martin, and also the team which a bullseye on their back, as every team dreamed of dethroning the mighty Spartans Cricket Club. Given the team's success in local tournaments, the talent within the team members also started dominating the St. Martin's national team roster with over 50% selection along with players from their main rival club, the Nagico Cricket Club. Several of the players have been through the Leeward Island setup, the under-15, the under-19s, namely the captain Kenroy David and the wicketkeeper Mr. Damian William, who scored a first-class century for St. Martin's national team, also against Anguilla, and some further went on to receiving Leeward Island contract, namely Mr. Sherwin Peters, Mr. Daniel Durham, Mr. Akeem Charles, and the late addition Mr. Akeem Saunders. Two of the under-19 players played for the West Indies under-19 team, Mr. Antonio Fernandez and Mr. Casey Carty. As you know, Mr. Carty is now playing the West Indies for the West Indies cricket team, especially in the one-day competition. So just a pretty long bio, just a little bit of background information there on the GA Spartans, and it's good to see that they would have came through from the development process, kept themselves together, got into the St. Martin's tournament and acquitted themselves well, being a champion over the course of their stay in the Champions League, not in the St. Martin tournament, but not only that, allowing some of the players to get onto the Leeward Islands team and
the son of the captain, Keithstone-Greaves, and he did bowl the last time out here. He bowled pretty well. We're hoping that they will keep him and work with him and get some other youngsters in. Number 8 again. Charles. That's number 8.
Umpires, is that Jack and Lily? Proctor?
So, we got the names here for him. The openers would be number 8, APL Charles, and number 12, Keithstone-Greaves. The caller of them is number 8, I think. APL Charles. So it's going to be Stars coming up against Revolution. The last time, I think they've got one up on each other, right? They have beaten each other once. So it's going to be a bragging rights they're looking for here and heading towards the final, semi-final final in the Anguilla Premier League. So we say good afternoon to all our listeners out there, and we're urging persons to come to the James Bonner Webster Park to support cricket. And we have been having some good matches. We have seen some good innings. We have seen some good bowling. We have seen some very good fielding. And we would want you to come on out and support the cricket here and ensure that you get your own Anguillians on the park to ensure that they get their teams together. We're missing a number of teams, Pointers, Farrington, over there in back of us here, Tony Beamers, that's the team out of Keithstone-Greaves? Okay, I call it Keithstone-Greaves. There would have been a team also from over in Island Harbour. So we're saying good afternoon to all of them, and we're hoping that they can band themselves together to ensure that they get cricket, back on the park or other parts of Anguilla. Good afternoon to my good friend Blackie over there, the commentator. He delights in reminding me of his innings against Alkins in his day when he was playing his cricket. Before he got his accident. So I hope you're listening, Blackie. Right, he's going to be bowling to the left-handed David, is it? Charles is the left-hander. Oh, the forward. Okay. First ball. Right, is good. Oh, left arm is number 12 on his back. Going away from the pavilion and ball. This time he connects, gets straight to back to point, fair coverage area. And there is no, the 2 balls have been bowled, and there is no run high. Playing the first order of 20 overs here in this particular second game. It is right. It's the ball to it comes forward. It beats the bat of Charles. It beats the bat of Charles. And so interesting battle going on here. But we have the motivation coming from all around the field, and again Charles looking to go into an exorbitant drive, just flapping and missing. I'll go through to the keeper. Right, left arm spinner. Moving the ball to the left-handed Charles. This time he tries to dab it down into the offside, comes up in a portion, just on the strip, and there is no run. So a good start by the Revolution, bowling pretty tight and enticing and teasing. You want to put it that way, past the edge 2 times before. Goes in right side onto the body, and he plays it off into the onside, moves the man comes deep in wicket into pick up. And so the first run has been had off the bat of Charles at the end of the first over. And so it's one without loss at the end of the first over.
Yes, one without loss. Pretty quick over as well. It seems as though the Revolution, they really want to get into the meat of things quickly, rushing things on. What I noticed with the Revolution team as well is that they usually starts off their bowling with spin. Probably the most effective way of attacking is to start off with the spin bowling prowess so far. Possibly maybe not as much as many fast bowlers, medium bowlers, probably the likes of Jacob Paul, sorry, and the captain Ashan Hodge, who usually bowled a bit of gentle medium pace as well. But they are very much a team that starts with aggressive spin bowling, Frankie.
Yes. Christopher Desmond. He's in a steamer coming from the southern end. Bowled a pretty good spell the last time I saw him. Bowled with the left-handed chance, a wide delivery, and so moves on to 2. We got Ken City on the right, blowing away our noses. It's rather not nice. Hope he's enjoying it anyhow. He got fish. Where did they get that fish? There's a second delivery. Another one. So, one proper delivery thus far, and 2 wides. We're into over number 2, so it is 3 without loss. The Spartans team of St. Martin onto the pad. He just got under it and heaved it. And it is a 6 straight to the long on area. Deepish. Christopher came in, bowled it on the body of Charles, and Charles dispatched it into the long on area. For 4.
Well, actually 6.
Sorry.
Yes, and so the Beige not there, not getting his radar on point as he would like. 2 wides, and then ball on target. So on away for 6. So he'll need to reload again and do so very, very quickly.
He just had to adjust his line and length. Last time he bowled an impeccable line and length. This one shot it to the looking to go, Charles. And he turned back in time, looking to run after he played that shot. Thought he had beaten the fielder. What happened was Samuel, I think, Sam Connor, fielding beautifully, and he had to just put on the state and get back hit. Here comes the Christopher into bowl to Charles. Charles and drives beautifully. It goes to the boundary, only to be retrieved by the fielder there. The score moves on to 13.
Yes, 13. Yes, 13. A really good shot there. Pulling it into the onside there. Fielder there. Be able to get close to that one. Ball raced across the ground here at the James Allen Webster spot. Good shot there for 4 to at least push the scoring on.
And over number 2, we are 13 without loss. Charles getting the face all the balls. He got up on the last ball of the first over, and now he has hit a 6 and a 4. 2 boundaries. So it is 13. Charles is on 11 there. delivery there, being urged on by his comrades on the field there. No slip. There's a backward swing. What almost a fast third man, wide-ish. In comes Christopher. And this time, my goodness, magnificent shot indeed. Charles is in for some joy today. Beautifully dispatched, straight back on the onside. A wonderful shot there by Charles, and the score goes on to 17.
17, and over still not completed as yet. And Charles is really taking to the liking there of beige knot. Making use of what's been served up. Still another delivery left in here in beige knot. First over been taken to the cleaner so far.
Not bowling as crisply as he did the last time I saw him. This time he played it back to the bowler. Second delivery at the end of the over. And you know, it reminds me of those players like his name is Portie in England now. And you think of Sangakkara and all of those other belligerent players, when they meet bowling, not they can use as meat. They'll meet and eat.
Yes.
I want from South Africa, we put a color in England at one point in time. Almost even. But it's the end of over number 2. We're on to 17 without loss. Captain David has not faced the ball as yet. He's about to. Senroy David. And right, the left armer is going to go between the umpire and the stump. Quite into memory right away. I hardly see any of our spinners go between the umpire and the stump. The right is going to be bowling to the right. How did this happen, man? Okay. Ball on speed. This time with no men on the leg side. Looking to focus. You're not going to hit me. You want to hit me. You're going to have to move me off the stump. Good ball was played forward there by David. Right. Left arm. Bowl to the right-handed batsman, Senroy David. Spraying on the legs. Looking to execute a sweep shot. Missed it and missed the keeper. And it goes into the boundary. It's 4 wide. So we've got the wide continuing again. 6 wide now. And the score moves on to 21 without loss. Just missing his line there. Right. Trying to force the batsman to play him straight back up or to his fielder. He's got no slip, he's got a backward point, extra cover, extra cover, comes forward easily, and he's missed it. Beautiful ball there from right. The man down the long on boundary, long off boundary, there's no long on, there's a mid on, there's a straight mid wicket, there's a deep mid wicket, comes forward, beats him, strikes him on the pad, and there is no run. And there we have a short backward square, more of a 45-degree angle on the left side. Right, coming into his own again. Had a good first over. And he plays it forward, and there is no run. Just one run he had off of his first over, and he's got a couple of wides. And now we've tightened up again. Had some wides this time, so the 6 wides that have gone off. He's gone off 5 of it off of him. You're listening to cricket from the James Waller Webster Park. We're inviting persons to come on out and watch the Anguilla Premier League. And this time, he's got him. This time, he slowed it up, lured him into the drive, looking to play it straight back over, and ended up being struck on the pad directly in front good initiative there from the left-hander who adjusted his line beautifully, Tony.
Yes, maybe just a little bit too anxious, not being getting the balls that he needs to hit, and thought that one was just right there about, missed everything and was legged before wicket there, and not contributing to the score at all. So the Revolution just pulling one back and maybe thinking, well, we are in things here this afternoon. They will usually start off with the bowling of Oliver Walker. I decided to go by way of beige knot in this particular innings. And this time, after that over there from beige knot, which was really taken to the cleaners for some 16 runs, we've got the bowler there in Orlando Wright coming back, bowling well, and picking up that wicket there for the Revolutions team. So good start by Wright so far, and this is second over.
I think Henry David goes LBW to right for North in over number 3. And the batter who was gone there, Saunders, Akeem Saunders, wearing number 11 it is. We say good afternoon to Marvin Saunders. He's hoping that he's listening. He's a cricket fanatic. And good afternoon to Cardigan Connor and all the others out there. He's down the wicket. Oh, got it. Just to the left of the fielder at mid-on and gets a boundary. He has come on out for business. And so it's 4 runs there to get Saunders off the mark. Score goes on to 25. 25 it is, and it's the end of the over. At the end of over number 25, it is 25 for 1.
Well, at the end of over number 3 there, the Saunders there making his intention well known. I'm not going to be prodding and pushing. If it's there to be hit, I am going to hit it. And it was there to be hit. He did hit it down in front of us here and pick up 4 good runs to get his innings off and running in this run setting for the GA Spartans.
Number 4 comes from the southern end. Christopher Bijnat is in the attack again, and he'll be bowling to the man who made an onslaught of him in his first over, Charles, left-hander, and slaps it beautifully over the inner cover region. He has got some protection, and that is a young, what's his name there, fielding beautifully, Carlisle Hughes, and so it's a single had. The score moves on to 26. It is for 1. 16 to Charles. They lost David for North, and the third over, we're into over number 4. The adjustment has been made for the right-handed, left-handed combination. So you've got a man at short third man, square, a backward point, square cover, extra cover, well, more of a wideish mid-off, almost in a cover position. Here he comes, Christopher, into bowl to another ball, hits him on the pad. We've got the cover down, covering the deep cover area, trying to keep the balls on the offside, straying on the pad there though. Luckily for him, the batsman in Saunders missed it. We've got long on, straight mid-wicket, and a short fine leg. Here comes the left armer in Christopher, outside the off stump, and it's collected beautifully there by the keeper. Score remains on 26 for 1. Just a word from the captain, I think, who is in that mid-off, wideish mid-off area. And it is the Revolution team who's in the field. This time he plays and misses, getting his line right this time. Christopher directing it outside of the off stump, forcing the batter to play through the offside. He looked to go over the top, missed it completely. Wicketkeeper collected, no damage done. 26 for 1 in this Anguilla Premier League. The GA Spartans out of St. Martin are taking on the Revolution. They are 1-1 in terms of victory against each other. So bragging rights continue here. They perhaps will be the two teams that may, from my advantage point, that may go through to the finals. So we'll wait and see, but I think I tip those two teams that are playing each other right now to go to the finals. He's missed again. Getting his line right this time, Christopher beats the batsman and Saunders. Saunders looking to be aggressive and not waiting to see what Christopher is doing. He just wants to launch on him, getting forward quickly. But Christopher has adjusted his line nicely in this second over. Here he comes from the southern end, this time into the black hole. Saunders can only come down hard on it. It's the end of the fourth over, and the score for the team that's batting, GA Spartans, they are actually 26. 26 it is for 1. And comments from Tony and the young and upcoming. Another Tony Kozia, we call him. Will take over from the old star of me.
And yes, Frankie, just maybe a little bit anxious there in the batter there in Akeem Saunders. We see here during the course of the over, he's trying to press things and to push things on. His award been had there by the opening batter there in Charles, maybe saying just to take your time, you just came to the crease, so you won't want to be pushing and prodding as much as you would have liked. And so but a good over there by Christopher Beijnat after being hit for some 16 runs in his first over, recovering and coming back nicely there to at least frustrate the batter there in Charles. As I say, welcome to the microphones to the man himself, Doc Caden Bryan. Welcome, Doc. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. 26 the loss of 1. 26 for 1 here. The JRWP is right to continue. It's into ball to Charles. Charles is forward and pushing it back down to the bowler for no run. 26 for 1. As here comes right again to bowl to Charles. Charles back and whipping into the leg side toward the man Lawrence. There at mid wicket, he will do the fielding. It will be a single. Charles moves on by 1. He's been scoring rather freely off the pace, the left arm pace, but it's been constrained a bit by the left arm spin. Saunders back on strike. It's right to bowl to Akeem Saunders. Saunders back and pushing into the offside with a very elegant stroke. It will be no run. In Trinidad, it's 179 for 4. 179 for 4 for the West Indies. Black with the last man gone as the right bowls this one a bit short and guided in toward the backward point region. It gets past the man coming across from cover point. It will run into the boundary rope now. That will be 4 runs to Akeem Saunders. Not the best fielding at all, but it looks like Carlisle there, but 4 runs nonetheless to Akeem Saunders.
Yes, very, very careless there in the part of Carlisle Hughes and allowing ball to pass him, and from that happened, it's all he was going to certainly run into the boundary for 4 good runs there to Saunders.
Here comes right again in the ball to Akeem Saunders. Saunders down the track, plays this one over the extra cover region. It will get close and it will run into the boundary now. That's going to be 4 runs. An absolutely picture perfect stroke there by Akeem Saunders. That's 4 more.
So I'm not too sure whether Saunders is saying I want to be catching the last boat going back, but he has come into the wicket and has set a purpose here to push the scoring on, race to 12 quickly, and really could this be trouble for the Revolution's bowlers?
Here comes the right again to bowl to Akeem Saunders down the track and driving past him it on. That's well placed as well because the man at Cow Corner could not get there. That's 4 more runs to Akeem Saunders. He's in the mood. That's back to back boundaries to end the over.
Yes, and again we saw him, his first shot at the wicket was 4 runs, and then was a little bit frustrated by the bowling there of Beige Knot, maybe just trying to push things a bit there, Doc. Was, a little conversation we had there between himself and Charles, and probably just saying, just to cool things down a bit, take a look at the deliveries that's been presented to you, and then you can decide. And so far we have seen 3 wonderful shots played there from the man there in Saunders to really push this scoring on here for not only of himself but the GA Spartans out of St. Martin. They are looking to set a big total here in this first 20 overs, Doc.
You would usually favor the left-arm spinner to the right-handed batter, but not Akeem Saunders. He is nowhere near your typical right-handed batter. He has all the elegance and class of a left-hander, and he plays some very good-looking shots. I think they may be better advised to get maybe Mark Gokaran on from this end. It's beige enough to continue, however. From the Polyclinic end, it's driven there by Akeem Charles down the ground. He has taken a liking to Chris Beijnoff. That's 4 more runs.
And yes, they certainly mean business here. When it's there to hit, they are going to hit it. And like you did mention, he is certainly taking to a liking there of Beijnoff running there from the Polyclinic end. And one again punched down the ground for 4. The man down there. Is that Ashan Hodge? They're trying to get across, but only to retrieve from the boundary.
I think Charles is on to 21 now. 21 to Akeem Charles. Akeem Charles, yes. Saunders is on 16. Pretty good partnership building. Lots of boundaries being struck in the early goings of this one. Here comes Beijnoff again. And now Charles steps away. Charles not quite ready. Maybe some sweat dripped into his eye there. Takes off the helmet, clears the eyes with the glove. Beijnoff again. From this, the central Polyclinic end, the left arm over to bowl to Akeem Charles. And to this delivery, Charles is forward. Pushing into the offside. This time he will not get a run. Bit more circumspect there by Akeem Charles. As is Beijnoff. Left arm over. To bowl to Charles. Charles down the track, driving this time toward point. Stopped by Connor. And no run there. Very powerful start in the power play. 43 runs thus far. It's going to be Christopher Beijnoff again. Left arm over to bowl to Charles. This one's a much better line. Angled back in toward the leg stump. And they will scamper through for a single. Charles pushes on by 1 to 22. And it brings the right-handed, very fluent Akeem Saunders to strike. Putting in a deep cover fielder, so the mid-off comes into place from a long-off region. Still a long on. There's no one behind the square. It is 44 the score. No one behind square to the right-handed Saunders. Beijnoff to Saunders. Saunders drives down the ground. No bother running behind it. That's going to be, well stopped by a Sean Hodge. Actually came across very well, and appeal goes up for a run out. It will not be given. Just the 2 runs. That's very good feeling there by the captain down at the long on boundary. Saunders on by 2. The score is on to 46. And now the cover man comes into the circle. Actually, no, they've brought up the long on to a mid-on region. So long off and a deep cover. Beijing off the ball to Saunders. Saunders drives it down toward the long off man for a single. Scores on by 1 to 47. That'll be the end of the over. It's 47 for the loss of 1.
Just a little bit of adjustment there from Beijing after he was struck for that first ball 4 there. Maybe just pulling the pace back a little bit and more or less trying to get the ball closer to the batter on target. Was able to do so and finishing off the over much better than the way he would have started. 6.
That's the end of the power play. Power play is over. It is 47 for Warner after a 6. 47 for the loss of just the 1 wicket. That wicket being Captain Kenroy David. Gone without scoring. It will be a change in bowling. And it's a change I suspected needed to happen. Looks like Mark Gokaran is taking up the attack from the commentary box position. The left-hand spinner wasn't working. Get the right-handed off spinner in. See if he'll cause some problems.
Oliver Walker is not out there. Is it that out? I don't think. It don't seems to be that.
Oliver Walker. No. So the off-spin attack will be led by the man they call Smacker, Mark Gokaran. Very talented off-spinner. I'm thinking, generate some turn. Umpire just surveying the field. Power play is over. Just checking to see that the boundary riders are in fact the correct amount. Here comes Gokaran. He's into ball to Saunders. Saunders is driving down to long off. Pauls comes off the boundary to do the fielding. It will be a single. Revolution playing a man down right now. 1 man short in the field. Gokaran into ball to Akeem Charles this time. Down the leg side, swept behind square. And it will race up the hill and go into the boundary now. That's going to be 4 runs. Akeem Charles is scoring very well. The score is on to 52 for Warner.
Not a good delivery there at all from Gokaran. And a well played shot there from Charles. As long as he would have gotten it around there, certainly no chance for the fielder there.
Gokaran into ball to Charles. And Charles drives down to long on for him. It will be a single. Gokaran. Waiting for Akeem Saunders to get set. Taps away now Saunders. It's Mark Gokaran right arm over the wicket to bowl to Akeem Saunders. Saunders down the track, coming off the outer edge of the bat. Down to the man at the cover boundary. It will be nothing more than a single. Saunders trying to push the scoring. He's been coming down the track very often. Not afraid to use his feet. Has all the tendencies of a wicket-keeper batter. But he also bowls off spin. Here comes Gokaran to bowl to Charles. This one is fuller. And Charles just gets it past the outstretched boot of the bowler. And he gets a single. Saunders back on strike. Surveys the field. He has a deep cover, a long off, a long on, and a deep mid-wicket in place. The short extra cover comes in a few steps closer. Gokaran into ball to Akeem Saunders. Saunders down the track and drives this one just past the right hand there of Gokaran this time. Down toward a long on. It will be a single. We're taking the strike very well. That's the end of over number 7. At the end of 7, it's 56. 56 for Warner.
Yes, and these 2 batters here scoring very freely and really flowing. Looking very, very good here this afternoon. They would have lost the services of Kenroy David, who didn't trouble the scorers, but so far that has not really jolted the GA Spartans out of St. Martin in trying to set a good total here on the board. They have been scoring very freely and flowing as we would want to see in an actual T20 match. Doc.
The West Indies, they're now 192 for 4. The Silver has now come out to partner Alec Affinese. Craig Brathwaite, of course, getting out a bit earlier. Scored 75, Craig.
Can you tell me how many balls that Blackwood would have faced?
Blackwood faced 92. He scored 20.
92-20.
Well, I think the West Indies are playing for a draw on day 3.
Well,
they faced 91 overs, scored 192 runs. And just for contrast, India, they faced 128 overs, scored 438. Changing bowling, and he's knocked him out. And he's gone, caught behind. Akeem Saunders has to go. The change of bowling has worked for the Polyclinic, and looks like Carlisle Hughes who's coming to the attack. And Akeem Saunders' very good innings comes to an end, caught behind off the bowling of Hughes.
Yes, Hughes' first delivery producing a wicket there. Saunders maybe not picking the delivery, as you can see the bounce and the turn there, and that was outdone by the delivery and the good catch there at the wicket by the wicket keeper there in grasping onto that catch there, Doc. And so whether we will see the scoring curtailed a bit with that last of Saunders' wicket, we're yet to see. But so far, I'm certainly sure the Revolution is wow, good move there by the captain in bringing Hughes into the pick of things. Doc.
Looks like Madwa, who is the new batter now. Seems like it's Renal Wadwa. That's gonna be a name to call. Wadwa. WHADWA. Wadwa. He's a new batter. I haven't seen too much of him at all. Right-handed, very diminutive figure, Wadwa. But he'll generate some bounce, generate a bit of drift as well. Not a big turner of the ball at all. He relies more on drifts, especially with the breeze assistance coming from the left to right across the ground. It's going to be Hughes between umpire and stumps into bowl to Wadwa. That one may have peeled off the edge, may have come off the inside edge and just evaded wicketkeeper Kishona Richardson. The ball is moving just a bit for Carlisle Hughes, creating some issues. Generating good bounce as well. Hughes again between umpire and stumps around the wicket, and Wadwa drives this one past the point and third man fielder, and they will come back for a couple of runs. Wadwa off the mark with his first couple. He's 2. The score is 58 here in the course of over number 8. Here is Carlisle Hughes again into bowl to Wadwa. Wadwa back and pulling. This one goes behind square. There is no fielder there. The fielder at the square leg boundary comes across to collect it from the boundary rope. That is 4 runs to Wadwa. A gift really from Carlisle Hughes.
Yes, we're not getting his line as well as previous deliveries, and the Wadwa is probably saying, I'm certainly not going to miss out on this one. Very unique name, Marinal Wadwa, and so far looks good.
Tossed up, pulled away down to Jacob Parles now. That will be just a single. It was a full toss. And I think Wadwa's eyes got a bit too big there. He swung his back out. We only got a single.
Yes, even my eyes got big here, Doc, because I was thinking that one should have been going over the scoreboard. I didn't get a whole of it as he would have liked.
Changing the field. As the left-handed Akeem Charles now comes to strike. Hughes, left arm over now to bowl to Charles. Faster and swept away behind square. You will not get there. And it will go for 4. Ill directed there by Hughes, and he pays the price. Akeem Charles is in a no-nonsense mood. It is 67 for 2.
Yes, so Hughes just trying a bit there. Last 3 deliveries, really punished after starting off very well. Yes, he's been punished there for very 3 loose deliveries. They pay the price and spoiling his opening bowling figures there, Doc. And when they've been presented to you, like Charles, it's important that you really take the necessary use of those deliveries, and that what happens when you're in the frame of mind to score runs, as opposed to being very defensive. When the loose ball comes, you tend not to put them away when you're trying to defend for all it's worth. But if you are in a frame of mind where you're looking to score, then that's what happened, and we're seeing that happening here with Charles.
Gokaran to continue from the commentary box end. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Wadwa. This delivery, Wadwa is forward and whipping into the leg side. There is no run as Captain Sean Hall just stationed at a short mid wicket. Gokaran. And again now into his run to bowl to Wadwa. It's flighted and Wadwa drives, and it's going to be stopped by short extra cover this time. 2 balls, 2 dots. Not going to the scorer's book. So it's going to be Gokaran. Yet again into bowl to Mrinal Wadwa. To this delivery, Wadwa is forward and driving this one just past the outstretched arm of Gokaran. It will be a single. A tight first 3 balls, just runner off it. But it brings the dangerous Akeem Charles back to strike. .33, I believe Charles is now. As here comes Gokaran into bowl to Akeem Charles. This delivery, this one's coming off the outside edge of the bat and stopped at short third man. They do get a single, however. Charles on by 1 to 34. Score moves on to 69. 69 in the course of over number 9. One of the best run rates we've seen in this tournament thus far. And here comes Gokaran again to bowl to Wadwa. Wadwa's driving down toward the long on region where Connor comes off the boundary, does the fielding. It will be just a single. 70 is up. As Wadwa is on to 8. Charles is 34. Gokaran is into bowl to Akeem Charles, and Charles is going to let this one go through. I think he should be in Trinidad rather than here. Let that ball alone. Shouldered his arms. That's the end of over number 9. At the end of 9, it is 70 for the loss of 2.
74 for the loss of 2 wickets, and I can say the GA Spartans really looking to set a good total here. They've looked good. They are not wasting any overs, not wasting any loose deliveries, absolutely. And they're looking to put a good score on the board. They've lost 2 wickets, but they've got a good platform so far. We've not reached the halfway stages of this innings as yet. But so far they have scored 70 for the loss of 2 wickets, heading into over number in the 10th over. And so good going so far, Doc.
Yes, indeed. Wadwa takes his guard, surveys the field. Not too many runs scored in Trinidad. I think much has changed since I last updated you. Hughes comes into bowl to Wadwa. This one is down the leg side and swept down toward the backward square region. They want 2, but that's very, very good fielding by Jacob Paz at square leg. Holds them to just 1. Field shifts over to the left-handed Akeem Charles. As it's Hughes into ball to Charles. Charles is tucking this one behind square. They should get at least 2 runs as the keeper has to come all the way there to do the fielding. It will be 2 runs to the total of Akeem Charles. The score moves to 73. And 73 to score in the course of this, the 10th over. We're going at 8 for... Oh, I've gone down just a little bit. It's 7 and something. I don't know the exact math right now. But it's well over 7 runs and over. Shifting the field. I've gone to more of a 4-4 field rather than a 5-3. Here comes Hughes, the ball. Charles drives, gets past a short extra cover down to long off. And Charles gets another single. Score moves to 74. 74 here in the course of over number 10. Charles is 37, scoring rather well. Wadwa is 9. He's on strike now, Wadwa. As this one is a bowl and it's a full toss that Wadwa just drives down to mid-off for no run. Didn't get the elevation or the timing required. Hughes again to bowl to Wadwa. That one's flatter, faster, and turn down toward the backward square region. It will be just a single after a whole bunch of confusion. That's 10 runs now to Wadwa. 75. The Westerners have run up to 200. Something they got nowhere close to in the first test. They're 200 for 4. That's a much better score.
200 for 4.
200 for 4.
But it says much about the wicket, really, because
it's a dead track.
yes,
Dead track. There's no pace, no bounce, no turn. It's a dead track, really.
they designed it for that, probably, for the 100 test.
This one is whipped away down toward the square leg region. They will look to come back for 2 and get it rather easily. Bit like a disco there by right at the square leg boundary. That's going to be the score at the end of 10. At the end of 10, they're going at 7.7. It's 77. 77 for the loss of 2.
77 as the water cart comes to the field just to refresh the players just a bit. And certainly good going there from the GA Spartans out of St. Martin. They have set themselves
77.
a good platform
77.
in which to launch on in these final 10 overs. Scores we're probably maybe looking at, Doc, maybe 140, 150. If they continue scoring at this rate, they'll certainly get to close to 150 runs. But the Revolutions, they might have other ideas as well. They're certainly missing the services of Oliver Walker. He has been a real thorn in the batter's side against whom he has come up against so far. They don't have his services. I don't know if that man shot is probably left for him, probably. But the Revolutions will certainly want to talk things over as to see how best they can maybe get further inroads into the GA Spartans batting lineup.
49.
You're not missing any cricket as the refreshments has been had by the players, the umpires, and this one is setting up to be a good match so far in terms of runs being put on the board. Hopefully we can see a good chase when the Revolution replies that.
Yes, indeed. Well, the West is at 207 for 4. at the end of 95. Alec Affinese, he is 28. The Silver is 9, of course. Captain Craig scored a brilliant half century a bit early in the day. Got up for 75 to one of the better deliveries I've seen bowled by an off spinner. Ashwin turned that ball about 3. He turned that ball about maybe 7 or 8 centimeters.
Melly, you can probably come in here because I think I was hearing you say, was he struck outside of the off stump or something of that sort?
It pitched well outside off. It hit a foot mark and turned a tremendous distance. It was perfect technique. There was the only gap between bat and pad was between his gloves and the top of his pad, and that's where the ball passed through. It hit a foot mark. It turned a fair distance because Craig was unbothered for the entire inning. It took a magic ball, and Ashton produced that magic.
Certainly, yeah. Sometimes those comes your way, and if you know the batter Craig Brathwaite, he's not one of those players who will really get into an innings and throw it away like that. What are your general thoughts on Kirk McKenzie and the likes of Alec Attanes? I thought they looked pretty assured of themselves. McKenzie for the most Alec Attanes for the most part. Your general thoughts as play is just about to resume that?
I was very impressed by the likes of Kirk McKenzie. He looked very, very good in his innings, but he fell to a well-crafted plan by the Indian skipper. He was very apt to the drive through the offside, kept waving at the wide ones, and eventually he got out driving it when he shouldn't have. Blackwood, he tried to show some resolve, didn't score too many runs, and soaked up a lot of deliveries. Tejarai Chandapal dug in well on the previous, yesterday really. Dug in very well, but then fell unnecessarily going for a big heave he didn't need to go for.
Yes.
They've shown a lot better resolve to a pitch that's really not doing anything. No turn, no bounce, no pace. The pitch is really not doing much at all. It's easy to bat on. Play resumes as Gokaran now. Right arm over, he's bowling. And this one is driven very well through the covers there by Wadwa. It's going to get close to the boundary, pulled back. And they will get 2. $79. 79, the score has moved. 79 for the loss of just the 2 wickets. Batting still to come for the General Auto Spartans. As here comes Gokaran. He's into bowl to Wadwa. Wadwa is trying to get this one past the short third fielder, but he will get a single. The 80 has been raised. 80 for the loss of 2 in the course of over number 11. Charles back on strike now. It's Gokaran. From this, the commentary box end is in to bowl. As this one is pushing to the offside now by Charles. Nothing more than a single. $40 up now. 40 up for Akeem Charles. He is up to 40. Gokaran is now into bowl to Wadwa. And Wadwa's going for a slog sweep. It will drop short of the man at the mid-wicket boundary there in right. He gets a single, but Wadwa's showing some aggression. Right, instead opted to take the safe option, prevent the boundary, rather than putting out the dive. May have gotten there, may not have gotten there. Opted for the safe route. Gokaran. Right arm over to bowl to Charles, and Charles is again pushing into the offside. He'll settle for the single. Rather happy to take the singles. Akeem Charles as he moves to 43. 42 Sora, I believe, is Charles. 42. Cooker ran into ball to Wadwa as he's pushing into the offside now, down toward a short third man region. It will be a single. That's the end of over number 11. At the end of 11, 84 for 2.
$84 for 2, and just playing each ball and its merit, but picking up the singles and the twos as often as possible. Something that we don't necessarily see in, especially in West Indies cricket. A lot of dot balls has been stoked up, but not so with the GS Spartans today. They've been scoring almost at almost after every delivery, and that is what you would need to really put big totals on the board.
Well, cricket is not only a game of boundaries, which is something that the West Indies have not really come to realize. They were ahead of the curve in 2012. Playing T20 cricket, everything was boundaries that no one else was really doing. As here comes Hughes, the ball to Wadwa. Back to the ball, and they will get a single. They were ahead of the curve, really, because everyone else was focused on hitting singles and twos. The West Indies went with an all-or-nothing approach, very deep batting lineup, lots of all-rounders, sixes or nothing, and it worked for a couple of years, won 2 World Cups. But everyone is caught up, and we've forgotten how to hit singles.
Yes, and we're not hitting boundaries as much.
Indeed, that's a good ball there by Hughes for no run. So we're hitting less boundaries, and we can't score singles and twos, so we end up losing a lot of wickets for not many runs.
Yes.
Hughes again, and this one is pulled behind square, straight to the short backward square leg fielder. No run. Very good over thus far by Carlisle Hughes. Just 1 run off it thus far. Hughes again to bowl. This one is swept away behind square there by Akeem Charles. That's going to be 4. Another error in line there by Carlisle Hughes. Akeem Charles says, thank you very much. That's meat and drink.
Yes, and every time he he's been punished. Really putting some dent in his figures.
Charles takes this one and drives it down toward a long on for a single. $90 up now. It's 90 for 2 in the course of over number 12. Hughes the ball to Wadwa, driving back to the ball, or no run. That's going to be the end of 12. At the end of 12, it is 90 for 2.
For 2. GS Spartans winning the toss, choosing to bat. And this is the second encounter of the day. It's APL Season 3. 2003. It's going to be Damani Hodge, who is going to be taken up from this. The commentator's booth end. He's going to be taken up from Mark Bukaran with number 30 on his back. And it's going to be a double change. It's going to be a man Kelsick who's going to slip in alongside here with the score on 90 for 2. 90 for 2. Sanders and David, the men being sent back. It was David for no score and Sanders for last year wicket. It's going to be Hodge bowling to Charles. So this delivery, Charles is getting one. Akeem Charles is hitting the 1-2 back. The man that's fine leg, backward square does well. Beach not going to his left, feeling well. No run resulting. Over number 13 in progress here. Here is Hodge to bowl to Akeem Charles. Charles is leaving one outside line of the off stump. Coming forward, coming across, picking up the line and length, and then shouldering arms. No run resulting. Score remains on 90 without loss. 90 for 2, sorry. Here is Hodge again to bowl to Charles is hitting this one high, hard, and handsome over the top of mid-wicket, 6 runs. It's gone away for 6. And the total moves on to 96. 96 for 2. 96 for 2. 96 for 2. As Charles taps away and wait for Hodge dabbing this 1-2 backward to the man at backward point. Can't stop the single, and the total moves on to 97. 97 for 2. 97 for 2 brings Water on strike. It's going to be Hodge again to bowl to Water. Bowls to Water. Water is hitting this one in the air, down to backward of square. They have gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. As the man in attendance down there is right, who holds the return to the keeper. Good one too, but can't stop the second run. The score moves on to 99. 99 for 99. 99 for 2. Kelsick, welcome.
Thank you very much. A very good over so far here for the Spartans. 99 for 2. Very good going here, and we see some brisk batting here from Charles. He had some earlier from Saunders.
Here is Charles to Water. Water is hitting this one. I get down to back to mid wicket. It is Wright who fields. No run is 1 run resulting. Water moves on by 1, and the total moves on to the 100 has been raised. Yes. In the course of over number at the end of over number 13. It's 100 for 2.
Good going here by the batters. They're attacking the bowler, and that 6, John, the ball up to the bat and short, and the Charles said, "Hey, come here," and slam it over mid wicket for a beautiful 6. Good going here by the Spartans. 100 from 13 overs. So still have a lot of batters in the pavilion, and we are inviting you folks out there. I mean, the sun is a bit warm, but come on out to the park and watch some good cricket. As St. Martin Spartans, they're up against the Revolutionaries, and good game here. We see they're having a mid-wicket conference between the two batters. No doubt, John, they were working out their plans for the next 7 overs.
Indeed. At 100, they have built a platform on which they can launch, and so they will be looking to a launch. Only 2 wickets down. It's going to be Pauls, who's going to be taken up from the far end and the Central Polyclinic end. It's a 50 for Charles. Akeem Charles is on 50. With him is Water. He's on 17. It's 100 for 2. Jacob Pauls to bowl to Water. Right arm over the wicket. Slow medium to bowl to Water. Bowl to Water. Water is driving down to the onside, down to long on. It's Beige Knott who does the fielding and holds the return to the bowler. 1 run to Water. He moves on to 18, and the total moves on to 101. 101 for 2, as we see belated birthday greetings to the man Ralph Hodge, one of our fellow commentator right here. It's Pauls, Jacob Pauls to continue. He's going to go around the wicket to the left-handed Akeem Charles, who goes away ball to Charles. Charles is getting a full pitch delivery, which he can't put away. It's to
The man at a short mid off, that is Damien Hodge. Damani Hodge can't score. Score remains on 101. Here is Charles. Charles ball to Pauls. Pauls is to this one. He's chopping it off the under edge into the ground. No run resulting. Score remains on 101. Good over so far from Pauls. Just one run from 3 deliveries so far. Pauls again around the wicket. Moves away from the far end. Passes umpire. Proctor ball to Charles. Charles is hitting this one. Through extra cover. They've gone for 1. That's all they're going to get. The man after mid-wicket. The extra cover boundary. That's Mark Buchanan who fields and sends the return. 1 more run to Charles and 1 more run to the total. Charles is on 51 and the total moves on to 102. 102. Paul, it's a very good over so far. The 14th over, first of his being bowled. Here is Pauls to bowl to Water. Bowl to Water. Water is turning this one off the pad. It's going to run close to the fine leg boundary. In fact, it goes into the boundary now, 4 runs. And the moment we start praising the bowler, he was offline on the pads of Water. And he walked it well off the pad and down to the fine leg boundary, 4 runs.
Very good shot indeed. Down the onside, and he just worked it well. And we saw the wicketkeeper giving chase, but to no avail. Very good shot. It was quite a good over so far until that stray delivery, which makes you have what? Some like 6 runs off the over so far.
106 for 2. 106 for 2. It's going to be Pauls again, who from right arm, bowling right arm over the wicket to the right-handed batsman in Water. Batting very well. It looks a very stubborn batsman. Look, a man on a mission. Here is Paul Water, who's hitting this one to extra cover. Can't score. Good work by Carlisle Hughes. Falling away to his right. Feels well. The end of the over, at the end of over number 14, it's a 106 for 2.
Good pull back over there.
Spartans winning the toss and choosing to bat.
Good pull back over there by Pauls. Some 6 runs coming from that over, and saving at least 2 runs there just now was Carlisle Hughes, moving smartly to his right as the batter there went back and slapped it into the offside. Good going so far with the St. Martin Spartans. 106 from 14 overs. So we have what, 6 more overs? 6 what?
6 overs.
6 overs, maybe another 30-40 runs. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely will be looking for 40 and upwards. Can't possibly be looking for less than that at all. 106 it is. Here is going to be a Hodge to continue. He will be bowling to Charles. Hodge to bowl to Charles. Charles is getting one that he's hitting down to long on. Ashawn Hodge is in attendance. He gets a very accommodative bounce and he sends the return to Hodge. One more run to the total. 1 more run to Charles. He's on 52 and the score on to 107. 107 it is for 2. West Indies just losing the silver. Here is Hodge to bowl to Water stump. Advancing, playing all over it, head high. He never caught up with the ball, and Richardson doing the rest. Water goes, stump by wicketkeeper Keithstone Hodge off the bowling of that's the man in Hodge for 22. It's 107 for 3 in over number 15.
Yes, a very good stump in there. That one was just a little bite of him, and he was going there for the big coming down, was beaten all up and was well stumped there by wicketkeeper Richardson. So 3 wickets down now, and we're into over number 15. So no doubt the other batters will try to get a good score, push the scoring along some more. small crowd here watching the proceedings, and the Masters losing their match to the Foreign Stars today. And we notice now these few matches, the Masters, they are well short of 11 players in the matches.
I can't say somebody said they need you. You need to go and put on your gears. The Masters need your assistant.
I wouldn't mind, but then when I go and I can't run, you won't blame me.
Well, at least you can stop a gap.
Well, you know the strange thing about it, I was watching on Charles, right? I don't know. The Masters, you go out there, right? You don't just go to swing.
106.
107.
Yeah.
107. It's Williams, the new batsman. Damien Williams, the new batsman who will be doing battle against the Mani Hodge. The Mani Hodge tosses the ball from hand to hand. And moves away to bowl to Williams. First delivery. Williams is hitting this one down to, it's ball coming off the bottom of the bat. I thought for one moment it was coming down to long off. And the ball coming off the bottom of the bat and just eluding the man at mid-off.
Yes, from the toe you can see he's looking at his bat now. He's looking at his bat. No doubt it happened for a reason, because he would have sent it straight down to the man he had long off.
It's Charles, who is on 52, who comes into strike. Here is Hodge around the wicket, ball to Charles. Charles is hitting this one, and this is going to go close to the boundary. In fact, it goes into the boundary now, 4 runs. Beautiful shot. Oh, he came across the stump and targeted down to a vacant wide-ish mid-wicket, where we call a cow corner region, and it goes away for 4. That's a wonderful shot. Well set, seeing the ball big, and he races on to 56. 56 is Charles, 114 or 114? 112 the score says. 112. 112. 113 it is. Here is one that is hitting on the pad down the leg side. And that's the over coming to an end. It's 113 for 113 for 3.
Good batting here again by the batsman Charles. Getting a delivery there that was just centering off stump and walking it between mid-on, long off, and mid-wicket down to the boundary for 4. All in all, good going here by the St. Martin Spartans, and Revolutionaries will try to tighten up the last 6 or 5 overs or so now, and they're going to look to see how many runs they can get from these overs. They're having a mid-wicket little chit-chat there, and we know that the batter there, he hits the ball he strikes the ball very well. Last week I think he got some 50-odd runs.
Well, yes, he got 50-odd out of a total of 93.
93, yeah.
Yes, and that's Williams, the man Damien Williams. Remember, he played with Beamers. He would have played with Beamers when Beamers played in the competition for season 1 and 2. It's Damien Williams, who's going to do battle against Jacob Pauls from the Central Polyclinic end. Sees Williams, stops away and waits for him as Pauls moves away, passes umpire Proctor, ball to Williams. This delivery, Williams is hitting this one through extra cover. The man of the extra cover boundary moves to his right and sends the return. 1 more run to Williams. He is on to his 2nd run, and the score up to 113. 113 for 3. 113 for 3. The GA Spartans in over number 16 scorer. Yes, over number 16 the scorer tells me. Here is Jacob Pauls to bowl to Charles. Charles is hitting this one. Back to Jacob Pauls. 1 bounce. Oh, that's a spectator's catch. And the crowd, the small crowd that we have here is loving it. And thought it was a catch, but it was a spectator's catch. Pauls doing well, bowling a good line and length. as Charles taps away and wait for Jacob Pauls. Pauls runs away. Right arm around the wicket. Ball to Charles. Charles is hitting this one just to the right of the man. His fumble. Fumble and sends the return. And the keeper cannot take it clean in either. So it's 1 run to Charles. Charles moves on to 57 and the total to 114. 114 in the course of over number 16. 114 it is.
And John, we see there almost cost him his wicket. Fumble, you don't run.
Well, it all depends. It has been said you do not run on a misfield, but the ball went to his right, a fair way, and the trusting himself and know that he could have gotten to that end. Here is Pauls to bowl to Williams, getting a short pitch delivery, a back of a length delivery rather than short, not making the height that a genuine seamer would get. And just playing it in through the offside, gets 1. Williams, he moves to 3 and the total moves to 115. 115 for 3 in the course of over number 16 being bowled. Here is Pauls again, changing the line of the attack. To the left hand now, he's hitting this one, down to long on. They've gone long, high, hard, handsome 6 runs. Wonderful shot. It stood up to be hit. And the man Charles, Hakeem Charles, who have been there for 16 overs, said, thank you very much. I will take that one. I'm grateful. And he went down and he must have said thank you to Jacob as well.
Good shot indeed, good shot. And we saw the man there at wide long on. He's just watching the ball sail over. He said, very good shot indeed. As the old folks would say, he's seen the ball big like a grapefruit.
Yes, no, not a grapefruit. It's like a football. Seen it big like a football. Here is Pauls to bowl to Charles. Charles is in this one again. Oh, Ashan Hodge is coming around. Ashan Hodge takes the catch. Ashan Hodge takes the catch, and Charles looking to repeat the dosage. This time he was going much straighter, and Ashan Hodge making grounds to his right and took a lovely catch. He catches in an normal and unusual way, but he has very safe pair of hand, Ashan Hodge. He loves to go with fingers up. It doesn't matter where he is on the field. Fingers up, and Ashan Hodge takes the catch. Charles goes, caught Hodge, bowl Pauls for 63.
Very good shot, very good catch indeed. And it seemed as though I see he has his hand ringing over his head. He had to come forward to take that catch. He had to dive a little, but it's a very good catch indeed. He ended up with his hands on the ground. But as you say, John, he takes it back, which we know the correct way is the other way, but that is his style. So I guess, but it was a very good catch. And also, John, not taking from it, a very, very good innings from Charles.
Indeed, a very, very good innings. 100.
John, the thing about it is that Charles...
Langville, the wicketkeeper batsman, to the battler for the Spartans against Mark Bukaran, who has come back at the Central Polyclinic end. Right arm off spinner, long ball to a long off, long on, mid wicket, mid off, a short mid wicket, not a backward point. Here is Langville turning, looking to turn this one on the onside, doesn't make contact. Ball trickles down the wicket. Man at cover and a man at short turn. Langville tops away in the red pads and a maroon helmet. Tops away, away for Gukaran. When Gukaran gets there, he's hitting this one down to long on, and it is Samuel Connor who does not want the catch. He doesn't want the catch and fumbles the ball, and Langville could come back for his second run. Oh.
It is better you come, drop the catch, than to stand up and allow the ball to come to you.
And he still fumbled the ball.
Still fumbled it, yes.
Oh, that could have been 2 in succession. That could have been 2 in quick time.
I think he was very flat-footed.
Yes,
He
had
was
it been
very
Ashawn Hodge, he would have gone for that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you Jacob Pauls or Ashawn Hodge would have gone for that. Not so with Samuel Connor. He took the safe route. Here is Connor. Here is Mark Buchanan to bowl to. That's a lovely shot by Langville. They've gone for 1. And they will come back for a second. Good work by Wright. Orlando Wright doing well there. Can't stop the J Spartans from going on to 105. 105,
125.
125, so 125. And it's a 4 to Longville. Williams is on 3. As he taps away, Longville. Wait for Mark Buchanan. When Buchanan gets there, Longville is hitting it down in the air. Clyde is going back, and that would have been a magnificent catch. Always difficult going over your shoulder. He was going over. He tried taking it over his left shoulder. Brilliant effort by Hughes.
Very much so indeed. Always difficult catch, and being a left-hander, he tried his best, but unfortunately he couldn't hold on.
Oh, that was a brilliant effort. And as a fielding team, that's the kind of efforts you would love to see. Oh, he ran away from square leg. That is a good effort. Here is Buchanan to bowl to Longville. Longville to this delivery is rocked on the pad. That one was outside the line of the off stump. Mark Buchanan going up a loud appeal, but that one was struck way outside the line of the off stump.
John. From up 4 viewpoints here, we could have seen from the shot that the batter is playing, that is way outside the off stump, and he tried to work it into the onside.
Yes, he's looking to go along field. Over number 17, min bowler by Mark Buchanan. Number 22 on his back. Moves away, right arm over the wicket. Ball to Longville. Longville is stretching forward. They're going to get a single here. Jacob calls. Hauls a return in, but cannot hinder the run. At the end of over number 17, and at the end of 17, J Spartans winning the toss, choosing to bat. They are 128 for 3.
Very good going here again by the Spartans, the GA Spartans. Doing a very good job here is also the wicketkeeper batsman Lanville, or I think that's his name. And so far, they are pushing the score. They're pushing the score very, very fast. They're trying their best to see if they could get around 140, 150 runs. And we know that the Revolutionaries, they have some batsmen. But all in all, we know the game of cricket. So we see here that I think it's going to be Pals. Yeah, Pals is going to continue. And we can see that skipper Hodge is going back to the long off, wide long off position where he took that brilliant catch a while ago.
Yes, it's going to be Paul's continue. Right arm over the wicket to bowl to Longville. Longville taps away. Paul's bowl to Longville. Longville is hitting this one through mid wicket. Runs here. They have gone for 1. Will come back for a second. No, they don't need to. It's gone into the boundary 4 runs. Good looking stroke there by Longville.
Yes, John, this is the idea now. We're going to go for the runs. We have 3 overs left, so why not? This is over number 17, so therefore, let's try and push as much as we can get.
That's 160 is what they're looking to get up to. 160, and they can in over number 18. It's 131. It is. Here is Pearls to bowl to Longville. Longville to this delivery. He's hitting this one through the offside. The man in attendance is Hughes. Running on the shot. Williams was halfway down the ground by the time the shot was played.
Yes, Williams is looking to push on. Williams is the captain? No,
Kenroy
David is the captain.
Captain?
Yeah. He didn't trouble the scorers at all today.
No, he didn't. And would not have scored much in the last game either when these two teams met last Sunday as well. Sherwin Peters is not here today. Here is Pearls to bowl to Williams. Williams is hitting this one to extra cover. They've gone for one. Fumble by Hughes, but no more runs will be conceded. He moves on to 4 and brings Longeville, who is on 12, onto strike, and the total moves on to 134. 134 it is for 4. 134 for 4. J Spartans out of St. Martin. Here is Pearls again to bowl to Longeville. Longeville taps away and then holds his bat up. And this one is driving back down the ground, hitting it down the ground to Ashawn Hodge down to long off. He gets one. He gets his 13th run and 135th run for this J Spartans. General Automotive Spartans. General Auto Spartans out of St. Martin. Here is Williams. Waits for Pauls. And when Pauls gets there, he gets a full toss, which he hits down to long off. They've gone for one. Ashawn fumbles. That's the pressure. That's the pressure at the time of innings. And Williams gets back for 2 runs. Gets back for his 6th run. And 137th run for Spartans. 137 it is for 4 in the course of over number 18 with 2 to go after this one. Looking to get up to 160. That will be an uphill battle, uphill task. Here is possible to Williams. Williams is dabbing this one in the offside and gets one. Man at backward point moves to his right to point. The end of over number 18. And at the end of 18, the J Spartans winning the toss, choosing to bat. They are 138 for 4. The not out batsman being Damian Williams. He is on 6. And Longeville is on 13 and Williams on 7.
Good batting here by these 2 batters. They're hitting the ball. If you can't get to the 6 or to get the 4, at least they're getting the quick singles. Because if you get 6 singles, it's still 6 runs added. But all in all, the approach at this time is really, really going good.
Do you think that Australia is going to be saved by the rain? Do you think the West Indies is going to be saved by the rain also?
But it's strange enough, right? When the test match started with Australia, England was worried because they said the forecast for the weekend, they're going to get rain. And that is what is happening. But we'll see what happens. It was sad that
five wickets down.
Yeah, it was sad when I saw I like to see him, but Labuschagne.
Yeah, he has so many names. How do you pronounce his name?
Labuschagne.
You hear Labuschagne, you hear Labachani. He has so much pronunciation for his name.
Labuschagne, you know why? Because it's like champagne.
Wow.
Yeah. Labuschagne, yeah. But he's
to
a
be
very good batter.
Right. Over number 18 in progress. This one is a dab to number 19. Oh, Beach that doesn't do well. They've gone for one. We'll come back for a second. Return comes in. Over number 19 in progress. 2 runs. 140th run being raised, Tony. 140. Williams has moved to 9. 140. And over number 19. Looking to get up to 160, 165. Not a very impossible task. Here is right to bowl to Williams. Williams is hitting this one. Looking to go through the offside, getting on the edge and trickling down to mid-off. He gets 1. He moves on to 10 and the total on to 141. 141 for 4. Right, left arm between umpire and stump. Around the wicket. Oh, big drive outside the line of the off stump. Beaten outside the line of the off stump. Doesn't make contact. Lucky for him that he didn't leave his ground. Right again with number 12 on his back. Bowls to Longeville. Longeville is driving to the right of extra cover. Gets 1. The man at mid-off. Long off makes the ground. That's Ashawn Hodge. Gets 1 is Longeville. He moves on to 14 and the total moves on to 142. 142. Here is right to bowl to Williams. Williams is hitting this one inside out, down to extra cover, deep extra cover. Mark Gukaran is on the boundary there and sends the return. Total moves on to 143. Williams moves on by 1 to 11. And brings Longville, who is on 14 onto strike as he faces right to this delivery. He's cutting well. He's going to get runs here. And he's only going to get one, in fact. Ball goes down to deep extra cover. He gets his 15th run and 144th run. At the end of over number 19, 144 for 4.
And we know that they're going to go all the way out now because that was the penultimate over and getting, some 6 runs from it. And still, 144? Well, you can get, at least, if you can get 10 more runs, 154 wouldn't be a bad total at all.
That's a very good over, the penultimate over by right. I think they would have been looking for close to 160, 165. But that was a very good comeback over by right. Would have been a bit expensive in his first 2 overs. But coming back in this, the penultimate over of the innings and just conceded some 6 runs. It's going to be Beechnut who is going to finish from the Central Polyclinic end. It's Beechnut. The final over, entrusted with the final over. He started at the innings from that end, bowling the second over, and now he is going to finish. This is Longville hitting this one past mid-wicket. They have gone for one. We'll come back for a second. A lot of work has to be done there by the man, Mark Gukaran. Covered a lot of ground. Covered it well, and limiting the batsmen to 2. 17 is Longville. 146 for 4. It's the most runs that have been scored so far in the tournament. Here is Beechnut to bowl to Longville. Longville hits this one down to long off. They're looking for and only going to get 1 run as Ashan Hodge hauls the return to Beechnut. Total moves on to 147 and Longville to his 18th run. Brings Williams into strike. He is on 11. Williams is on 11. The right-handed batsman to face the left-handed Beechnut, who is bowling left arm over the wicket. Left arm over the wicket to the right-handed batsman. Here is Beechnut, who moves away from the Central Polyclinic end to bowl to Williams. Williams is getting this one to extra cover. Right, skips across to his right, and Fields can't stop the single. 12 is Williams, and 18 is Longville, who is on strike. Here is a very good over so far by Beechnut to this delivery. He is hitting this one backward of square. Lots of work for Gukaran to do. They have gone for 1. We'll come back for a second. That's all they're going to get as a good work again done by Gukaran. Had to do a lot of running there and saving the boundary. The ball holding up, slowing down, going up the hill and allowing Gukaran to come around and field. He's on to 20 and the total to 150. 150 has been raised. Here is Gukaran to this one allowed appeal. That one was pitched outside leg stump. One was definitely pitched outside leg stump. The penultimate delivery of this inning, and it remains on 150. 150 being raised in the 20th over for the G Spartans. Here is Beechnut to bowl to Longville. Longville is beaten, and that's the end of the over. Signal by the umpire, end of the innings. It's 150, 151. The Revolutions will have to get to win this encounter, and that is not going to be an easy one. It is going to be spin, and more spin. It is going to be spin to win. will it be for the GA Spartans? Well, it is left to be seen. Up to this point, I've not seen them use any seamers in their last 3 games. And so I have no doubt today again that they will not be using any spin. Spin to win, or will the Revolution overcome? It's left to be seen. It's 20 not out for Longville and 12 for Williams. It's 150 for 4 at the end of 20.
And the Revolutionaries will have to make 151 runs to win this game. A very good batting performance here by the GA Spartans. We saw from the onset that Charles went at the bowling. He had a very good knock of over 50 runs. And then a few more batters coming in and pushing the score along. And all in all, using 4 wickets for 150 runs, a very good effort. And knowing the Revolutionaries, they're going to try and get the runs. But as you mentioned there, John, it's spin, spin, spin. And if you have all spin, there's going to be a problem, because a lot of our batsmen here, they like the ball coming on to them from the quicker bowlers.
Indeed. They love to feel baton ball coming on. But they will have to go looking today. They will have to go looking for that ball today against the GA Spartans. And they do not have Showing Peters with them. But they do have the likes of Saunders, who bowl some leggies at times. And they have the likes of Daryl Durham, the captain Kenroy David himself, young David, the 10 plus years old. He has been doing a little medium pace, and he has been very stubborn. They have Ramraj also, so it is going to be a very spin-dominated innings for the GA Spartans.
So all in all, listeners, a very, very good, very interesting game. 151 from 20 overs. That's what, 7.5 runs or so per over. And we'll have to see when the batters go there, the Revolutionaries, when they go, what tactics they're going to use with getting these runs.
They also have Belazer. Belazer has been doing a good job as well, and so there's no doubt in my mind that the only pace you're going to see in the ball is the medium pace of a young David. Everyone else is going to look to slow it up and turn and look to get the bounce, because we have some really tall bowlers in the St. Martin innings. We have the likes of Akeem Charles. We have the likes of David and Durham. Very tall bowlers, and so they are going to be looking to extract whatever bounce they can on this surface. It's a very true surface. This one, I have not seen any devils actually in the wicket. If you bend your back, you will get it out as a seamer. You will get a respond, and the spinners get some sideways movement. They get the taller bowlers, they get some drift and bounce. So, very even contest here, and Ashawn Hodge and his charges will have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, and I can recall last season, the last 2 seasons with Charles. Charles is a tall, the opening bat, and he bowls left arm spin, and he got quite a few wickets the last 2 seasons, and very good bounce. So there again, John, they'll have to watch out for the bowlers, because Siemens Dos and Man, they have about 6 or 7 bowlers in the side, and they're all slow bowlers.
Well, they have about 6 recognized frontline spinners, as we made mention of, the likes of Durham, Ramraj, Saunders, Charles, Kenroy David. We have Beliza, and so they are going to be putting on a display that you would expect the GA Spartans to come out here and put on. We saw them going down to the Revolution last Sunday, and so they have come out looking for a revenge, even with the absence of their senior player, showing more experience, one of the most experienced players in the J Spartan side, in the person of Sherwin Peters. They are without his service today, but they have included Saunders in their lineup, and so not really any hard done for them. It's not a negative for them at all. Rather, it's almost a like-for-like switch for both, in the absence of Peters, where Saunders is concerned.
And we saw when Saunders went into bat that Saunders went on the attack immediately. He went at the bowling immediately, and he was able to, I think he had four boundaries in his short stint at the wicket. But all in all, you know, it's going to be a good game. We look forward to a very good, and I tell you folks out there, the sun is in all its splendor. Bright, bright sunshine for cricket. Very good sunshine for cricket here. And the field is green, not all green, but it's green all over with some patches here and some patches there. And the outfield is very fast. So we see what is going to happen when the Revolutionists take their knock at the wicket.
Yes. Kelsick, have you been to the football so far for the season?
I don't really go football.
Oh, you don't do football? Well,
No. I do football, but I haven't been.
There is a very exciting encounter this evening. You may want to see that one. It's an encounter where the Queens will be taking on, that's the Diamond FC Queens. They will be taking on the Little Soldiers in a game that they must win. For the Queens, it's a must-win game, and if they win that game, it will propel them into second place. And they will be favoring the Superstars tomorrow, whose Superstars will be playing the Superstars will be playing the Youngsters tomorrow. If the Youngsters happens to draw or to beat the Superstars, if the Youngsters happen to draw to beat the Superstars, the Youngsters will take the second position. If not, it will be the Queens. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something that is more interesting in that. It is Kalia Johnson has 40 goals for the season.
Wow.
40 goals, and she's going to be gunning tomorrow by the grace of God. She will be gunning for the 10 goals.
40.
She will be coming out to play hard and look for that 10 for 15.
Wow, very, very good going in the actually probably might watch it tonight, because when I leave I have to go to work. And also I'm a football, John. I used to play football.
Oh my.
My son used to play football at Romy.
Well, you may have been you must have been a Messi. You're a very short man like Messi.
No. Oh, like Messi, but Alkins would tell you. Alkins and them used to slam me. Two of them used to get together and mark me and trip me up.
All right.
Alkins brothers will tell you that.
So you were that good that you had to be double mark.
I used to play center forward, inside left, sometimes outside left. Yeah, well, I tried my best. I had a good speed in the thing. Scored quite a few goals also. And then, of course, I used to play cricket also. But we see the umpires are going out, and we have Clacky is going to take over from me. And Clacky is going to take over, and we have Doc here as well. So it's going to be a double change at the start of the
innings.
Revolution innings. So Clacky is coming in to take my seat. Clacky and Doc will take over. Trinidad.
151 required for victory, 151 required for victory here at the JRWP. It's going to be a very good opportunity for the Revolution battlers to show what they are made of. Last time they played the Spartans, it was an easy chase for them, chasing from 90 yard. Relatively easy chase. This time they have to apply themselves a lot more, and a lot will rely on the shoulders of their top order, most specifically Richardson, Connor, and Sean Hodge. They do have a very deep batting lineup. The likes of Orlando Wright, he'll come in and fill the gap that may have been left by Oliver Walker's absence today. They still have Hodge down the order, still have Pauls down the order. Mark Gokaran can smack the ball a very fair distance. They have a rather deep batting lineup, but they need to all put it together here today, especially for a side that just has the 10 players. They'll need their top order to come to the fore, face deliveries, and score their runs in a similar manner to how the General Otto's top order scored their runs.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive in their approach. Last time I saw them, they got up to a slow start. And so they're going to have to be on the ball, looking to ensure that they run their singles, turn the ones into twos, and dispatch the bad balls to the boundaries. Pick the gaps. In the early stages, first 6 overs, look to pick the gaps. You know, the earlier you get boundaries, the better you start. You lay a better foundation, and then the others can kick on after. But they have to be precise in what they do. Last time, as I said, they were very, very slow. All right?
Well, there's a good batting lineup awaiting them, a good bowling lineup awaiting them, sorry. Of course, there is no Sherwin Peters today for the Spartans, but Kenroy David, Akeem Charles, Akeem Saunders, Daryl Durham, Beliza, Ramraj, all very good with the ball. And I'm yet to see what the man Wadwa can do, but I think he can bowl as well. Very, very good bowling attack against a very deep batting lineup. It's going to be a very good chase. 151 required to win from 120 deliveries. It's really shaped up perfectly.
7 point.
It's not too far away. It's not too little. It's just right. It's a medium T20 score. It's going to be Keyshawn Richardson and Samuel Connor, I believe, will be opening the batting. That's been their usual combination, but will they want to break up the 2 left-handers at the top? That is an option available to them. They've been going with 2 left-handers, 2 very similar left-handers as well. Will they look to break them up? But do they have any other option who can open the batting?
Well, the captain can take a chance and go early.
Indeed.
They're walking out now. So who will it be?
Exactly as I suspected, it's going to be Ashon Hodge opening the back. They wanted to break up the 2
What did I say without seeing it?
They're going to break up
Take
the
the
2
chance
left-handers.
and go.
The captain has stepped up to the fore. He'll open with Keyshawn Richardson. I know he's more comfortable batting at 3, but I mean, the team needs a change. He has stepped up.
And if you're going to want a positive approach, he is the one who normally would take the attack. So the earlier he gets out there, the better it is.
Exactly.
And work with the young man there, and so that they can get the platform going.
Take advantage of the power play with the field restrictions.
Definitely.
It's going to be Captain Ashon Hodge to partner Keyshawn Richardson today. Captain and keeper. That's a bit old school. Captain and keeper opening the batting.
We encourage you to come on out to the James Webster Park for the Anguilla Premier League. It's a final game today, but it's the second half. Looking to get 151 would be the Revolutionaries. And then tomorrow we have a couple of matches that are going to be very interesting as well. So if you're not here today, ensure that you make the effort to come out tomorrow and bring the young ones as well. We want to see the park women. It's lush green. The outfield is fast. We have been seeing some excellent batting. Charles did a yeoman service for his team with a wonderful 50-odd. And somebody's going to have to step up to the plate for the Revolutionaries to get 50 plus in the top 3 or more.
63 Akeem Charles scored. He got to 63. So it's going to be... is that Belazar who's going to be...
He had a mixed innings. He started off positively, then he went into a lull, and then he went again over the top, doing the things that necessary to end the innings on an aggressive mode. But they lost him. Otherwise, I think they would have gotten 160 plus.
Looks like it may be Belazar opening the bowling. Not exactly certain. It's going to be spin to start with. Right arm over to bowl to Captain Ashon Hodge. First delivery! Ooh, that ball missed everything between bat and pad, but missed the off stump and missed the keeper's gloves as well. An absolute jaffa to start with. Is that number 15 on his back there? My eyes aren't the best. If it's 15 in his Belazar, will be opening the bowling. Right arm over, bowling is off spin from the Central Polyclinic end to start with. And the course of over number 1, a good start by Belazar. He's in again to bowl to Ashon. It's flighted and driven through the extra cover region. Man up the long off boundary, comes across, does the fielding. But they do come back for 2.
Nice aggressive running. Positive start with the ball. First ball, positive. Second ball, floated again, but a positive stroke. So 1 for 1. We're in the balance right now.
Here comes Belazar again. This one flighted Ashon. His head was well up there before the ball even got to him.
Yes.
Peeled off something. They do get 1 run.
He's going to have to be careful. He have to keep his eyes on the ball. That young man is bowling well.
He's a good bowler, Belazar. Brings Richardson to strike. Richardson, the left-handed wicketkeeper batter. Also bowls as well. A genuine all-rounder. Is doing the wicket-keeping duty here for the Revolution. It's off spin around the wicket to bowl to Richardson. Is flighted and driven through the offside down toward the super boundary. And Richardson is immediately off the mark with a single. Four runs off, 4 deliveries to start with for the Revolution. It's a long off and a deep cover of the 2 men out for Belazar. It's into bowl to Ashon. This one down the leg side, coming off the pad. No run resulting. Belazar, the one's a bit quicker and flatter and faster. And Ashon couldn't quite get the bat down in time, coming off the pad. He steps away to survey the field. It's a 6-3 field for Ashon Hodge. And it's Belazar to bowl to Hodge. Hodge turns it down to the leg side. He will not get a run. End of the over. At the end of 1, it is 4 for no loss.
Nice mixed over. Challenging the batsman. So the batters know that they're going to have to keep their heads on in order to get these runs. They're going to have to ensure that they're scoring at 7+ per over, and to make sure that they're on par, they have to utilize the first 6 overs wisely.
They need to get their runs, as it's going to be pace now. Will it? No, it's not. It's going to be Dorama. It's going to be spin, spin and more spin. All day it's going to be spin. It is going to be Daryl Dorama, the bowling some off spin as well. A brother, of course, of Daniel Dorama, the Leeward Islands cricketer. Daniel Dorama also on the side and not playing today. Both left arm spinners, both tall. Daniel may be a bit taller. Daniel's about 6'7". I think Daryl is maybe about 6'5", but they both generate a lot of bounce.
Well, that is good. When you got a height, you got to utilize it well. A man like Suleiman Ben, I used to like to see bowl.
That's the exact ball I was thinking of. Yes, Durham, he's into bowl to Richardson. Oh, that's a lovely ball to start with. He's bang on target. No run resulting. Suleiman Ben, of course, servant for a number of years for the West Indies. Tall left-hander. Got a lot of bounce.
Yep. I liked his spirit when he played cricket.
Indeed, he was a key part of those World Cup winning sides for the West Indies. Bowling tandem with, we will come on after Samuel Badri bowled. Badri was bowled in the power play. When Badri was done, Ben would come on in the middle overs.
Then you had Marlon Samuels
Indeed.
to back them up.
Durham again. Third ball of the over. It's turned into the leg side. Now it will be a single.
He did put in for a coaching stint the other day when they were looking for coaches. Suleiman Ben.
Oh, indeed he did. Interesting to see.
He's a very good thinking cricketer.
Smart. Very, very intelligent cricketer, Suleiman Ben. I remember him and Gary Mathurin bowling together in Test cricket as well. Him and Gary Mathurin, a very promising cricketer coming through the Windward Islands before. Got in some issue for his action, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
That's when that action has claimed the victim a number of West Indian cricketers. None more so than Sunil Narayan. This one down the leg side. It is going to get past the keeper as well and go into the boundary rope. That is going to be a 5 wides called and signaled by the umpire.
And of recent times, they in the press they have been talking about the captain of West Indies.
Craig Brathwaite,
for suspect action. He has been called on twice already.
They had problems with Morgan Samuels' action as well.
Oh,
Morgan
yeah.
Samuels couldn't bowl his cricket ball, I believe. All of the West Indians, all the West Indian spinners have gone through a period of being unable to bowl certain deliveries because it was a suspect action. It wasn't just West Indians because there was a crackdown. It started with Miraliferin.
Yes, he suffered
when
a
Mirali
lot.
first came
Really.
up against the Australians as Durham is in. This one is trying to cut. Again, the bounce there by Durham. When Mirali first came onto the scene, he was forced to bowl leg breaks for a while. They made him bowl leg breaks because they didn't like his off-spin action. We saw that with the Syed Ajmal as well, the Pakistani spinner. He was a number 2 ranked spinner in the world for a while. But his was a lot more blatant, really. He was really throwing the cricket ball. Elbow was very bent, Syed Ajmal. He was called, when he came back, he was nowhere near the same. Durham again to bowl to Ashon, and this when he cut away off the off stump through here. But he did get a single. Score moves on to 11 now. Ashon is a 4. There's Muhammad Hafiz, another one. That's the end. No, it's not the end of the over. Muhammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik both falling victim to. It's a lot of them. It's a whole lot of them. Harbhajan Singh was in trouble for a while. They got Monty Panasa as well, the English spinner.
You had the fast bowlers too in such positions.
Indeed. This one is driven straight to mid-on for no run. Angelo Matthews, of course, a victim of it. The Sri Lankan pacer. He had to stop bowling for a while, focus on his batting. So many cases of players falling victim to the so-called suspect action. That's the end of the over. At the end of 2, it's 11 for no loss.
They're going to have to ensure that they look to put the balls in the gaps, either for the boundaries or to get more twos, because 6 twos is 12, 5 twos is 10, 4 twos 8. So you don't have to be getting big boundaries if you want to get a rate of 7 to 8 and over.
Indeed. Your run rate is not required and you're hitting boundaries. The team you always look at is New Zealand, that they don't have that many boundary hitters. But when Kane Williamson and Tom Latham are together in the middle, they're running everything for 2. Here's Belazar.
Larry Gomes is very good at that, working the balls, making the guys run, and then he picked the gaps.
The king of that really is Virat Kohli. He's the king of that. Put the ball in the gap, run 2 runs. No matter what format he's playing. See, he does it a lot, and Kane Williamson, they both do it a lot. 2 modern greats. This one is heaved into the leg side. It's going to drop short of the man at the deep mid-wicket region. Just a single. The score moves on by a 1 to 12. 12 the score now. As Belazar will now be bowling to the left-handed Kishore at Richardson. We can talk about cricket all day. Such an interesting game. So little time to talk about it. Belazar to bowl to Richardson. Back and pushing to mid-on, and they do get a single. That's very good running there by Kishore.
Yeah, smart cricket. And the likes of Dale Steyn, even now today, Afridi, people are still wondering about his action. And I think one of the most blatant ones who was never called was Sean Tate out of Australia.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Sean Tate, he was a baseball pitcher, really. It's driven high, hard, and all the way to the boundary. That's 6 runs. Very well timed by a Sean Hodge.
And a good combination of the right hand, left hand here. You have aggression plus working the ball around, smart cricket, keeping the pressure on the Spartans team. So Spartans are going to have to revisit. Let's see if they'll make any changes in terms of the field placing, or if the bowler will adjust his line to see if he can, settle the batter even more, or try to outsmart him.
Millers wasn't flighting it. This time Sean took full advantage. First 6 of this innings. Belazine again, right time over the wicket to bowl to Ashon. He's going again. He's got a lot of it again. This one will go all the way for 6 again. Ashon Hodge is in a no-nonsense mood. That's back-to-back 6s for the skipper.
Revisit your field placing. You have 2 players out. Put in the long off. Put the pressure on the batsman. Make him change his shot. But for now, he's been going good.
It's a deep cover and a deep mid-wicket. There's no one in back straight. And Ashon has gone straight over the top twice.
So make the adjustment.
You take in the deep cover and put that long off.
Yes. Put the pressure on him.
Especially because he's an off-spinner.
Change the shot.
The ball back into the right-hander. It's going to be Belazar again. No field change to bowl to Ashon. Flatter, faster, driven down the ground with utter disdain. That's 6, now 4.
Same spot. What is the captain thinking of? We just called it. Put in the long off. Bring in the cover. Force him to go on the ground. You would have had 3 runs saved there. Or force him to go into the onside and perhaps make a mistake and be caught or trapped LBW.
That's the end of 3. It's 29 for no loss. And
well, they're back up there, which is good.
Expensive ball by Belazar. And you have to say it. When you don't have a man back straight to an off spinner, it makes it easy for the batters because they don't have to go across the line to play the shot.
Straight down the V.
They can play it straight down the V and they get their runs. As Sean did it 3 times in that over and hit 3 boundaries.
Yep.
Ashon on 21 rather quickly. Keyshawn is just 3. They've been 5 wides as well as it's Daryl Durham, and again from this commentary box in to bowl to Keyshawn Richardson is flighted and driven powerfully straight to mid-on where Belazar does the fielding.
Very aggressively too. That is what you want to see in the game.
A bit upset after getting a lot of spanking in that last over. Keyshawn wants to get into the action. He has just 3. Durham to bowl to Richardson. Flighted, Richardson driving it straight to mid-off now. And a misfielder coming through for a single and taking it very well. A 30 has been raised here in this the 4th over. Keyshawn has his 4th run. It brings the skipper back to strike. The skipper who's in a mood to score some runs and score them quickly as the field changes over. This time they have a long off in place. A long off and a deep mid wicket. A long off in Belazar. He's at long off now. He would have wanted a long off for his when he was bowling. It's going to be Daryl Durham surveying the field, making sure everything is in order. He's in now to bowl to Captain Hodge. Hodge is back and cutting it straight to a short cover. There will be no run.
Should have waited later to play the shot.
Indeed, cut a bit too early. There's no one really behind point. Could look to exploit that gap. It's going to be Durham again. Left arm around to bowl to Ashon. This time he cuts it, trying to get through the cover and extra cover fielders. Just a single this time.
More of the back foot shot, which was what he should have played earlier.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Score moves to 31. It brings the left-handed Richardson back to strike. Richardson against the base of the field. There's no one back straight for the left-hander. It's a deep mid-wicket and a deep extra cover. Not really a cover, more of an extra cover. Durham to bowl to Richardson. Oh, that one deceived him. It was full and flighted and slower. And it came off something. It's just buys. Come off the wicket keeper's pads. Just the buys. At first, the buy of the innings. Went 5 wide. 6 extras overall. Score is 32. Ashawn Hodge has 22 of them. Kishon is on 4. Kishon 4 extra 6. Ashawn Hodge 22. That's the 32 runs scored today for the Revolution thus far. Durham to bowl to Hodge. Hodge going off the outside edge, and that's going to be the end of Captain Ashawn Hodge's innings. He looked good against the right-handed off-spinner, but the ball drifting away from him caught the outer portion of the bat, and Ashawn Hodge goes for 22. It is 32 for 1.
Well judged catch and good thinking by the bowler Durham. Kept him into the drive, but I saw the fielder at slip, putting his hand up, telling him to give it a little bit more flight, which is what he did. You know, he never got underneath it.
The captain is gone. He needed to stay there. He needed to play the innings that Akeem Charles played. Again, a little shift in the yard. They want to maintain the right hand, left hand combination.
Pressure.
Smacker is in. Mark Gokaran bats at 3.
And also an aggressive batsman too. So you have to keep the momentum going, because Richardson is a very slow scorer. And he's going to have to ensure that he up the momentum, don't put too much pressure on the other batter to ensure that they continue to turn the score over at a proper rate.
Gokaran, they call him Smacker for a reason. He hits the ball very hard. Still has 2 overs and a couple balls left in the power play to take advantage of. Well, actually he doesn't. Just after 2 overs now, because that's the end of 4. At the end of 4, it is a 32 for 1.
Richardson is going to have to ensure that he turns the score over, get Gukarang on strike to try and take the aggression to the bowlers. Or he himself will have to up the momentum to keep the whole traffic going for his team.
Richardson is on strike as Belazar will continue from the Central Polyclinic end. They're moving the mid-wicket a bit straighter, but still no one straight back. Deep cover, deep mid-wicket. Belazar to bowl to Richardson. Richardson drives this one down the ground. Mid-off comes across, does the fielding. Chance for a direct hit. Score moves on by 1 to 33. 33 here in the course of over number 5. Gokaran, the new man, getting his gear adjusted. I think maybe a problem with the helmet. Trying to get the helmet adjusted. Mark Gokaran. Number 22 on his back. Right-handed batter. Usually bats a bit lower down the order. But sent up to do maybe a pinch hitter's job. Coming in the power play. Score runs quickly. If you get out, you get out. It's something that you see done a lot more often in T20 cricket. Lower order batters who strike the ball hard. Getting sent up the order to score their runs quickly. And to try to push the run rate, something that's been really mastered by the man Sunil Narayan.
I don't think he mastered it. He's lucky in some instances. I don't think he has mastered it at all.
He does the job his team wants him to do. Because if he gets out, he's a number 8 anyway. Gokaran doing some gardening on the pitch. Taking his guard, surveying the field. Looks up and sees it's the same field, a deep extra cover and a deep mid-wicket as Belazar bolts the Gokaran. Gokaran is forward, pushing defensively for no run. Belazar to continue from this, the polyclinic end. The right arm over to bowl to Matt Gokaran. It's driven to the mid-off field, a direct hit chance. Now they can come back for a second because that was not good backing up at all. Now they're back for a third. So what should have been just a single, they get 3 runs off of the mid-off fielder should have held on to it. There was no one backing up. Score moves to 36. 36 the score. Gokaran is on to 3. Brings Richardson back to strike. I've been neglecting really the score over in Trinidad. I need to go and take a look at that now. It's 211 for 5. West Indies still trail by 226 runs. Belazar into ball to Richardson. Richardson back and cutting it off the back foot into the offside, picking up a single. Scores on by 1 to 37. 37 the score. As Gokaran can look to take the Sean Hunch route and go straight. Belazar to Gokaran. Gokaran, this one peels off the outer edge, but over the head of anyone in the circle. And they will get a single.
They have a special parade or something? Or is it a funeral?
I'm not certain what's happening at all. I don't know. I'm not certain what's going on. Sirens, music, everything is playing behind us. Driven straight down the ground to mid-off. It will be a single. At 39, that's the end of over number 5. It's the Revolution needing 1-5-1 for victory. They are 39 at 39 for 1.
Fairly good start, could have been better, but they're up there and they need to ensure that they continue to be positive in their outlook, look for the boundaries, ensure that they turn the ones into twos and pick up ones where necessary. Pick the gaps. You may end up getting a boundary here or there, but do not give away your hand by being too rash. You have to play positive, you have to ensure that you read the bowlers wisely and do what is required of you as a batter.
So 39 for 1 the score. Richardson is 7, Matt Gokaran is 4. Extras are 6. And it's Daryl Durham who's been miserly thus far. Continuing the attack here from the commentary box end. Durham has been absolutely miserable. His first over went for 7. Second over went for just 3. In the ball is third. There's been 2 bowlers used in the power play, just the 2. Belazar and Daryl Durham. Still, no one back straight to the left hander. And they want Keithstone to be pulling it back across the line. Durham to bowl to Richardson. Richardson carving this one in toward the mid-off region. Gets a single.
The non-striker was off late.
Score moves on to 40. 40 has been raised. Gokaran ball watching a bit, but got through home safely in the end. At the end of 6, the Spartans, they were 47 for 1. So they're not too far behind, pretty much on par right now. I still have 5 balls left in this 6th over. Daryl Durham waiting on Mark Gokaran to finish his gardening work. Well, Don't know if I advise this to smacker. Just one man out. It's Durham to bowl to Gokaran. That's a very good length. But turned away for a single.
Keeping on the pressure, which is very good.
Just one man back on the leg side to Gokaran. And it brings the left-handed Keithstone Richardson back to strike. Richardson awaits the field to get set. Durham now up, skip and a jump into bowl to Richardson. This one down the leg side and turns straight to the man at short backward square for no run. It's a short backward square, a deep square leg, a short mid wicket, mid on, a mid off, extra cover, deep cover, cover point, and a man at a short third man. As it's Durham into bowl, flight to delivery, the Keithstone drives straight down the ground, gets past Belazar, that to before the first boundary of the innings for Keithstone Richardson. He moves to 12, the score moves to 45 for the loss of 1 wicket. Richardson on to 12, his first boundary of the innings. It was a flighted delivery, very full. He just drove it rather powerfully past the outstretched Daniel Durham and past the outstretched Belazar as well.
It was good. A firm stroke, more timing than power. And that is what you need to see in your game.
And I think finally now a change in the field. But this is going to be a no ball. This is going to be a no ball if they bowl this delivery because they have 3 men out. And now I think the bowler realizes before anyone else and that the man at the square leg boundary needed to come in because he had 3 men outside.
I think he heard you.
He may have heard me indeed. And here comes Durham. Flight to delivery to Richardson. Driven again powerfully down the ground. This time the man at long on and Belazar will do the fielding. She's up to 13. 46. They are really matching the Spartans total in their power play. Durham, left arm around now to bowl to Gokaran. He turns it into the leg side and picks up a single.
Nicely played. Keep the momentum up. Keep the pressure on. That is what you've got to do. And the run rate would be up there. So it's very key indeed.
That's at the end of 6. At the end of the power play, the exact stage that the Spartans were at 47. The Revolution, they're at 47 for 1.
Game on. Game on. Let us see the approach now with the fielders going to be in a different position. Let us see the approach of the fielding captain and let us see the approach of the batters with respect to how the field placing will be, because you will have more space now to utilize and ensure that they use the gaps well. You're not going to be in a position now where you're going to be able to go over the top as you would want if the fielding captain makes the adjustment. If not, well, then we will see what the continuing approach will be. But game on.
Game on indeed. 47 for 1. 47 for 1. Belazar will be bowling out. He's going to bowl his
7th bowling.
Number
7th bowling.
47. 47 is 7th. After the power play finished, 47. So this is over number 7 to be bowled by Belazar, bowling his foot to bowl to Gokaran. Gokaran is pushing this one down to the man out the wideish long off boundary. Should have been 2. He fumbles and now Richardson's going to come back for the second. Gokaran wanted it all along. It was Keithstone Richardson who wasn't interested, but now he gets in. Gokaran gets his 8th run and the 49th run for the Revolution. Belazar to bowl to Gokaran. Right arm over the wicket. Passes it. Proctor bowl to Gokaran, who is pushing this one to the left of the bowler, to the right of The man at wideish extra cover. Fields, no run resulting. It's Belazar. Course of his final over to bowl to Gukaran. Bowls to Gukaran. Gukaran is turn this one on the onside. He will get a quick single. And Richardson gets home. The return comes in. Not backed up there initially by...
Bowler thought he was in with a chance there, thinking that the batter would have missed it and it would have gone on to the pad, but the batter got some bat on it and ran quickly as he touched the ball. That is the approach. Run on the stroke, put the pressure on the fielder and keep the momentum going.
The 50th run has been scored. 50 has been raised. A 54-1 over number 7 being bowled. A very good power play for the very even Steven game from here on in. 47 for 1, both teams in the power play. It's game on from here on in. Here is Belazar, slow delivery. And that one was slow. He played it off the legs. I've gone for one. We'll come back for a second. And the man moving away from a short fine. Feels that's Ramraj. Rather, Anil Pandey. Anil Pandey feeling can't stop the second run. Kishore Richardson. He's 15th. 52 for 1. Here is one. He's standing tall and it straight to extra cover. No run resulting. Gonna need to look to get that one to his left or right. Here is Belazar again to bowl to Richardson. Richardson is getting one. That's walking off the pad. They've gone for one. The man coming off the forward square boundary fails and sends the return to the fielder. It's at the end of over number 7, and at the end of 7 it is a 53 for 1 at the Revolution in search of 151 for victory.
You got to commend that fielder coming off of the square boundary. Forward square came in very aggressive and ensured that he limited them to 1 run.
Yes. Kishore gets no more than 1 run. It's 53 for 1. Sean Hodge, the man being dismissed, he would have scored some 22 runs. 22. He looked like a man on a mission. He played some exquisite shots. Oh, those 2 sixes and then that 4. Oh, he looked
good with a purpose.
Yes.
And what amazed me that the captain failed to make the adjustment. Myself and Doc was talking about. I said to Doc, put that long off in to ensure that you put some pressure on the batter. But the batter recognized that they didn't, and he utilized the opportunity.
Yes.
2 over and 1 on the flat, so 3 boundaries.
This is going to be young David to take up the attack from this commentator's booth end. As I was saying to you, Clarkson, it is the only bit of pace you're going to get on the ball. And I'm not sure he's much faster than any of the spinners.
And he's been put right into the fire.
But he bowls well. He bowls a very steady line and length. And he's not to be taken for granted. He has picked up a couple of wickets already in this tournament.
Testing time for him.
A young David. Well, Kishore Richardson is set. Can he dislodge Richardson? He will be looking to send back Richardson. Richardson will have different ideas though. With number 12 on his back.
An opportunity for them to get a breakthrough.
Young David to bowl to Richardson. Richardson is getting one. He's stolen off the pad. The man on the backward square boundary fields. 1 run to Richardson. He moves to 17. And the total to 54 scorer. 54th run has been achieved. 54 for 1. 54 for 1. Coming up at 6 in the PM at the... Here is David to bowl to Gukaran. Bowls to Gukaran. Gukaran is hitting this one down to long off. He's not going to get down the full. They've gone for 1. And they could have been challenging 2 runs there. They should have been challenging 2 runs.
Challenge the arm of the fielder. And that is one of the things that I grew up doing. When you know you can run, you challenge the arm of the fielder, especially those deep.
Yes, he had to move. So you have to ask him to look up because I'm making the effort to get the second run and look for the misfield. Here is a young David to bowl to Richardson, ball to Richardson, to this delivery. Richardson is getting one again off the pattern, again down to backward square, and again it's another single. 1 run, he moves to 18 and the total to 56.
Targeting the stumps.
Yes, he's always thereabout, David. Looking to zoning on those stumps. David Jr., the young man. Here is David to bowl to Gukaran. Gukaran is getting one that he's hitting past the senior man, David, the captain. He gets a 1 run. The man from the deep extra cover boundary moves around.
Run before you dive. Run before you dive.
And he was close in and he said, no, I'm going to just pull the dive out.
Run before you dive.
He's on 11. Is Gukaran. 57. 57 for 1. Here is David to Richardson is covering. Just pushing it up in the offside to extra cover, can't score.
2 things could have happened. If he had run, he'd have cut the angle off, put a doubt in the batter's mind.
Indeed. Look to shield that ball very early. And he didn't do it. And so the batsmen were able to get around very quickly. Get across for the single. Very easily too. David again to bowl to Gukaran. To this delivery, he is getting one that is hitting the bowler down the umpire to take evasive action. They've gone for 1. The fumble came, but not going to get the second run. A good return to hitting the stumps.
Yep.
Luckily for them that they didn't make any efforts to get that second run. The over coming to an end at the end of over. A very good one by David. It's 58. Some 5 runs coming off the over.
Nice. The idea is that he's bowling wicket to wicket, targeting the stumps. So the batters have to work the ball off in order to pick up runs. And that's the idea. It would have been good for him with that one that stroke over into the offside here in the air to have picked up the wicket. As I think that is what they were aiming for. But the batsman did not get it as he would have wanted. So he was on the lucky side when one bounced to the fielder.
Vemlash Ramraj, the new bowler from the Central Polyclinic End, taking over from Belazar. Belazar would have bowled his 4 on the trot. And Belazar completing his 4. And it's going to be Ramraj, who is going to be taking over from Belazar. Is going to bowl in right arm around the wicket. Right arm around the wicket to Gukaran. In fact, Richardson pushes on the onside, down the onside of the track. Might just move into his left hand field. No run resulting. The score remains on 58 for 1 over number 9 in progress. Over number 9 in progress here. It's going to be Ramraj again to bowl to Richardson. Richardson's hitting this one. This is going to go down to a long on. They've gone for 1. The man feels well. Oh, brilliant feeling. And he hauls the return. Got it back to his feet quickly.
Nice aggressive.
Oh,
nice.
Not even a chance for a second.
No, he slid. He went down and he slided. He picked it up and was up on his feet right away and had the return coming in.
Oh, one of the better fielder on the field for the
He's very fleet-footed.
Spartans, yes. He gets around very quickly. Here is Ramraj to bowl to Gukaran. Gukaran is hitting this one in the air. Past the man at extra cover. The man at a long off. Comes around again. Fields. No 1 run resulting. The 60. It's a 64-1. Gukaran on 12 and 20 is Kishan Richardson, and he comes on to strike. Richardson need to step things up, Frankie.
Yes, I said it from the beginning. When he came out, I said it to Doc that he's going to have the one to really turn the score over and allow the aggressors to go on, but he has again fallen into a slump.
He can't hit the ball, so he needs to get going. Would have been there long enough. Here is Ramraj to bowl to Richardson. Richardson is hitting this one. And this is going to get runs here. They've gone for one. We'll come back for a second. Oh, no, they won't. That's sloppy running. That should have been 2 runs.
In the first instance, Richardson was lucky that the fielder there was not more aggressive, because that could have been a catch.
Oh.
It went to his left in the ear, and all he did was walk around, put his hands there just to accommodate a bounce when he should have turned it into a catch.
Here is Ramraj to bowl to Gukaran. Gukaran is looking to sweep. That's going to be... Oh, gone! Oh, he's gone. He's gone, LBW.
Yes.
He's gone.
He fell.
Frankie?
Yes, he was off balance when he played the shot.
He was, but it very much looked like it was going down the leg side.
It looked straight on to me.
Oh, he's gone.
He
It
was
doesn't
off-
matter what we think and how it looked to us.
If he was not off balance, I believe he would have connected. And that is what really brought the ill shot into play.
And
He went into it early.
in the 9th over, Mark Gukaran goes LBW ball Ramraj for 12, and that's another setback for the Revolution.
And the situation is, Sam is coming out. Is he going to be aggressive? Is he going to work the ball into the gaps and then look to put the bad balls away? We'll just have to wait and see. They brought some pressure back onto themselves.
Indeed. Oh my. Well, from a very good position, Frankie, where they would have scored some 47 right on target there with the GA Spartans from the power play, and they are losing their way.
The momentum, yes.
Yes, they have lost momentum, and now they are losing their way by losing Mark Gukaran. LBW Mark Gukaran to Ramraj for 12. Ashan Hodge was caught off the bowling of Belazar for 22. And there are some 9 runs adrift at where the GA Spartans were at this time. The GA Spartans would have been at 70 after 9, 70 after 9, and it would have been for the same 2. Well. Very close contest here. Very close contest. And
Could
Samuel
be an
Connor.
exciting game in the end if they utilize their time wisely. You know, ensure that they continue to pick up the runs, get the odd boundary in. What rate would they have to be going at right now?
Well, it started at 7.5.
Half, yeah.
Started at 7.5.
So you're
And
61 now.
It's up to about 9 runs and over, Tony.
Yeah, so
It's,
they would have to ensure that they get 1 or 2 big overs in early, and bring things back on par to give themselves a proper chance at the end, the last 3-4 overs. So Sam has gone out to accompany Richardson.
oh.
So the two.
I'm not that bad, Tony. Maths wasn't my worst subject. After all, it wasn't lunch my best subject at all. Yes, that's about 9 runs and over. It's going to be Samuel Connor who is going to be doing battle, but he is on the non-striker's end. It's going to be young David who's going to continue. Gideon David to Danny David to bowl to Keyshawn Richardson, left arm medium pace. To bowl to Richardson, Richardson get a full toss that is hitting down to long on. He didn't pick it up, Belazar, picked it up very late. And Richardson gets his 22nd run. Richardson on to 22, and the total on to 62 for For
Kedani
2.
is bowling a nice line and length. He's going to be keeping the pressure on the batters. The batters are going to have to be careful how they approach him, and they may end up giving their wicket away. Yes, you will get the runs, but you have to ensure you milk the ones and the twos and put away the bad ball. If you try to go at him hard, you may end up giving away your wicket.
He's going to get your wicket. Kedani.
Notice now they've brought up the long on to
the new batsman.
Yes.
That is to put some pressure on the new batter. Samuel Connor, who would have opened in the first 2 encounters. Here is David to bowl to Connor. Connor is walking this one off the pad. Immediately he's off the mark. He gets 1. Is the ball forward of square. He's off the mark. Samuel Connor, he's on 1. And the total moves on to 63. 63 in over number 10.
I would have kept this fielder up for Richardson.
Indeed, because he's not looking to go over the top.
Right.
Force him to go over the top and look to pick up his wicket. Here is David to bowl to Richardson. Bowl to Richardson. Richardson is hitting this one straight to the man at short mid wicket, no run. But it doesn't matter if he is not going out, trying to go over the top, and he's not actually scoring as fluently. He's not hurting you. So it's all done, well done. David continues to bowl well. David, Kedani David, son of Kenroy David, to bowl to Richardson. Bowl to Richardson's getting a wide down the leg side. Oh! What did Kishon just did? That is so. What was that? He had 5 wides written over that, and he put his bat there and has given. Oh my!
I've seen senior players do that. It's there for the taking, and they're going to interfere with the ball.
That was 5. He said, I don't want 5. I want 1. I don't want a 7-ball over. I want a 6-ball over. I don't want the extra one where I could get a boundary from.
My goodness.
My.
Very.
Every day of the week. That would have been 5. The most, if he had gotten it off the bat, he would have gotten 4. But you rob yourself of 1 anyhow. And, oh my. And
Fielder was not looking in the right direction. An appeal for an LBW, but there was a chance for a run out as well.
It seemed like it's a single.
He got a single nonetheless.
It's a single because there is no signal from the umpire. So Samuel Connor gets his 2nd run. And at the end of over number 10, it's a 65 score. 65 for 2.
Connor should have been looking to play that ball straight back up down on the onside rather than looking to go square. He went across it, and luckily enough it took the edge, hit his pad, and he was able to get a single. Almost actually conceding a run out. If the fielder had been more alert as to what was happening, that could have been a possibility as well. But he's still there, and so he has to carry on.
So batsmen found themselves in the same crease.
Yes.
Samuel Connor guilty of ball watching. It's going to be Ramraj to continue to Samuel Connor. Connor looks around the field, sees that he has a man at backward square, mid-wicket, a long on, long off. Extra cover.
I think they
straight extra cover.
They needed to have a man inside there.
Here is
Ramraj to
bowl to Connor. Connor is looking to pull this one around. Going to swing this one through mid-wicket. Doesn't make contact. Score remains on 65. And that's why they have left that space for him to play across the ball.
A picture of the shot that he played before.
Look for the edge.
Yeah, bring the man short in and let him still go.
He's leaving him halfway.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Ramraj to bowl to Connor. Connor is going to play the shot. That's one is played straight to extra cover. David is in attendance. That's Kenroy David.
I still would have brought in the field a little more because if the ball is going to balloon, it won't have any pace to go all the way over there.
Will they live to regret it? Here is Ramraj to bowl to Samuel Connor. Bowl to Connor. Connor is looking to hit this one down the ground.
He's living a charmed life.
He's living a dangerous life. Ooh.
Oh my.
He's playing a lot of shots. He has played a lot of shots since he has gone out. But to no avail.
For nothing, yes, for nothing. Get the feel of the bowler. The strip is a good batting strip. So, try to follow the line of the bowler.
No reward so far. Here is Ramraj to bowl to Samuel Connor, who is in his 1-2 point. Can't score, cannot cover point in Durham's field. No run resulting. Score remains on 65 for 2. And the pressure builds. Pressure mounts. Run rate is going up. This is a good looking shot by Connor. He pulls it down to a wide long on. They've gone for one, looking for a second run. Fumble comes and he gets a second run. Connor, he's on to by 2 to 4, and the total moves on to 67. It's 67.
Pressure on the fielder brought about a second run. Connor is lining up the ball nicely, but not getting the timing that he would want, and not finding the gaps either.
Ramraj, bowl to Connor again. Bowl to Connor. Connor to this delivery. He's getting one that is pitched just about wrongly off some, and he's pushing it down to the man at the mid-off, comes to his right and feel the end of over number 11, and at the end of the over it is 68 for 2. Connor is on 5 and Kishon Richardson on 23.
Well, they still have some work to do, and they're going to have to ensure that these two consolidate and consolidate better. Richardson is donning his helmet, whether he'll go headless or with a cap. No one has responded to him yet, which is losing time. The fielding team is helping him out.
Well, at the same stage, there were 16 runs. There are 16 runs ahead now because there were 84. 84 for the same 2 wickets at this stage. 84 for 2 was St. Martin. The G Spartans out of St. Martin. And David is going to bowl his third over on the chart. He has bowled well and deserved to.
Yes, kept the pressure on as well.
Young David taking the pace of the ball. Here is David to bowl to Connor. Bowl to Connor. Connor is walking this one off the path to short mid wicket. Richardson wants one. No run there.
Getting anxious to run.
Skipper David moves around to his
earlier he was
field.
ball watching and staying in his box. Which amazes me. Captain Craig Rackwood stays in his box. Doesn't look to run.
Wow.
I don't understand the whole cricket. Tell you the truth.
Well, we have to sort our cricket out from the grassroots stage.
And then you're getting bowled, you're getting caught. Why? Because you're not lining up the deliveries. Your pad is down one line, the ball is coming down the next line, and your bat is going on the other line.
Here is David to Connor. Connor is pushing this one back to David.
Well done,
They're looking
well
for
done.
a single here, and he misses. Oh, young David misses that one.
But
Should
the
have
opportunity
been.
was for him to stop. Somebody shouted to him to throw to the keeper. That would have been the better option. I don't mind he trying that, but I thought they would have said keeper. Keeper should have balled keeper. Those close in fielders should have balled keeper.
My. That should have been a run out. And instead of a run out, they have gotten 2 runs.
Excellent bit of fielding though.
Magnificent by David. Oh, brilliant bit of cricket by young David.
Yes.
Fortunate. Both batsmen are fortunate.
Yes.
Because the run out was at any end.
That is
A
true.
direct hit.
But more possible.
But yes, because Connor was bent on getting that run.
Yeah, because he could have sit up, lobbed the ball to the keeper, and
Oh my.
home sweet home.
Here is David to bowl to Connor. Connor's driving well. This is going to go for 4. Good shot. Durham misfeeling, and it goes into the boundary, goes for 4 at long off. 4 runs.
The shot was airy. The young man can't be faulted. It was a little too powerful for him because it was just was to his right.
It was to his right.
In
and
the air.
to the left of, I think he gapped it well. Durham came across and couldn't lay a hand on it, and it raced away for 4 runs. Even it was slowing up, the outfield here is very fast at the JRWP, and it goes away for 4. The score races on to 74. Here is David to bowl to Connor, Connor is getting a 4-1. That's hitting in the air. No fielder is going to get there. They have gone for 1 and can't come back for a second 2. This could be troublesome. And it's a direct hit. It's a direct hit, and Samuel Connor goes. Oh, wonderful bit of feeling from the man, Hakeem Saunders, coming in off the boundary and hauling the return to the keeper. He didn't need the keeper's assistance. He hit the wicket direct, and Samuel Connor goes run out for 12.
Thanks to a blunder from the other fielder, because it came off of his hand, not reading the bounce well. And excellent follow-up and alertness by Saunders, who was the backup fielder, picked it up well and sent it in. Even if it had not hit the stumps, the keeper was right there because the ball was on target.
Yes, it was. Straight over, hitting the bail, and Connor goes run out for 12. It's a 75. 75 for 3. 75 for 3. No, so the new batsman is Jacob Prowse. Jacob Prowse is going to make his way into the wicket. And at the end of this over, it's going to be a change here. The man will come into the hot seat. Will be the man, Brian. Brian will slip into the hot seat. Jacob to do battle against David with over number 12. Paul taps away and waits for David. The field changing over. There is a Matt square leg. Mid wicket on the boundary. Mid wicket in the circle. Mid off. Extra cover. Here is Jacob pushing it up to extra cover. Can't score to finish the field. The man at there is a deep extra cover, but he's halfway, not quite on the boundary. That's Hakeem Saunders. Backward point, and a man at a short third. Here is more of a fly slip. Here is David to bowl to Pauls. Pauls is driving up to extra cover, can't score. In fact, the ball ricochets off the stump, and they're going to get runs now. They have gone for 1. Will come back for a second. They will come back for a 2. The return goes in, and Kishon gets home. So 2 runs to Pauls. He's off the mark. He's on 2. The total moves on to 67. It is 77 for 3 at the end of over number 12. After comments from Frankie Clarkson, the new voice that you're going to hear is the man of that.
But they're going to have to be more wary of that by thinking positively and ensuring that they read what is going on. But nice over from the young man, brought some pressure on the batters, forced them to turn the balls over.
Well, it's going to be Ramraj, I believe, continuing the attack from Central Politan again, as Richardson wants 2, and they will come back and get 2.
Why did he hesitate with that throw? I don't think he gathered the ball properly. That is why. So he had to ensure that he had the ball gripped properly between his fingers and send the ball in to the keeper, but he sent it to the bowler's end.
Drinks here in session 3, Western is 2-8 for 5. Afanese and Holder batting together right now. After is batting very well.
How much Holder has?
Ball holders 11 off 32, Afanese 37 from 111.
He's got to have the sheet anchor. I would love them to get a half century.
He deserves 2 half centuries. First couple innings. Hope he gets one this innings. Anthony's a very talented young batter as
he looks the part.
Driven for no run.
He looks the part.
First innings ever in international cricket. He set a record for the fastest half century by a West Indian batter on debut. Got 50 off about 30 something odd deliveries. This is down the leg side. It's going to be a wide call and signaled by the umpire.
I heard some commentators the other day mentioning the fact that there are too many all-rounders. There are not too many all-rounders. What they need to do is to focus on what was happening. In the days of Chandapal and Lara, they came in as all-rounders, but they grew their craft and specialized in their portion, which was batting.
Exactly.
If necessary, they were given an opportunity to bowl. But other than that, build your craft.
If you look through all of them, all of the big guys on the scene right now. Williamson, he was an all-rounder. He bowled off spin. He stopped bowling. Smith came into the Australian side as a leg spinner, batting at number 8.
Steve Smith,
He's now a number 4 batsman. Doesn't bowl that much at all.
Top batter in the world.
Indeed. Joe Root was an all-rounder. He bowls a bit more than the others, but he's a number 4 batsman.
Yeah, and it's called upon. But all you have to do is practice it. If you're called upon, then you utilize it. But
what's that? What's the thing? There's too many all-rounders. You have to focus on your craft. It's going to be versatile because Shiv, he could bowl. Ramirez Sawan could bowl.
Oh yes, all of them came in as all-rounders.
If you look at
but they specialized in the area that was worth the while. During Brian Bravo came in as a specialist batsman. He grew into an all-rounder.
A deadly death bowler. You look through the years as it's driven into the offside now by Richardson for they're coming back for no, they won't come back for 2. They look to their old middle order, likes of Brendan Nash. He was an all-rounder. He could bat very well, Brendan Nash. Brian Laura could bowl if he needed to. But didn't bowl too often because he's focused on his batting.
But that's what I mentioned. Him and Shibnarayan came in as all-rounders, from youth level, and then they specialized in their craft.
That's the end of is that the end of 13?
Yep.
13, it's 83.
Not falling behind.
Indeed. 83 at the end of 13, and it's going to be David as he continues, Kidani David.
Ball is final over. He's bowled well, the young man. And I look for good things for him in the future.
He reminds me so much of Nathan Edward, the former St. Martin. Still St. Martin in the 19th cricketer, playing with the West Indies in the 19s now. Nathan Edward. Very, very similar bowling action as well. Down the left side. Again, Kishon tries to put bat on it. Rather than letting it go at the boundary, but he does get a bat, he does get 2 runs. The score has moved to keeping an eye on the West Indies, keeping an eye on Manchester United as well. They're up 2 goals to nothing over Arsenal right now. Manchester United playing rather well. I believe Bruno Fernandes and Jadon Sancho with the 2 goals. So here comes David to bowl, and it's flicked just past the diving man at short mid wicket. Richardson gets a single, but rather luckily.
This young man deserves a wicket. He has bowled well.
Definitely deserves a wicket. Got a compliment to one of men's Kidani David, not Kenroy David. Kenroy David hasn't bowled. Surprisingly that, he was a very good bowler last season for the Allen Harbour Razor Massives. And I think that may be the game in the...
Got him this time!
Oh,
got him this time!
Oh, what
magnificent catch! He timed it beautifully, took it one-handed, held on to it, and elatedly ran away. This young man deserved the wicket.
And his father gave it to him. What a catch by Captain Kenroy David, diving away to his right. Absolutely spectacular catch. Jacob Pauls has to go. It is 86. 86 over 3. 86 for 4 actually. Oh, they're falling. The wickets are falling. 86 for 4. What a take there by Captain Kenroy David. It is going to be Rolando Wright, the new man in. It is going to be Wright who is the new man. Right, very capable batter, Rolando Wright. Very capable batsman. As Pals fell for about 3 score. Fell for 3, yes, he did fall for 3.
No, remember Sam was run out. The captain gone. And the other guy gone.
Samson going for 12. Sean going for 22. Gokaran, he went for 12 as well. And Paz now going for 3. It's Rolando Wright who's come to strike.
That cat gone there. Grounds. Life. The young man deserved that wicket. So, even the grass applauded him. Oh, yes.
To Wright. Wright is driving this one powerfully down the ground to Belazar the long off boundary for a single.
I keep saying these fielders for that young man bowling should be further in.
He forces you to generate your own power.
Yes.
He doesn't bowl with a lot of pace.
Right. So they should have been further in because the batter has to make his own power to get the ball over them.
Indeed, like where they are now. If you look at where the long off and long on are, they're about 3/4 away.
He should be in regular
That's where
position.
they should be all the time.
That ball could have been a catch a while ago, and I mentioned it when Millington was here. He should have been further in. There was a possibility of another catch of the same young man.
So they were saying that stumps over in Trinidad. West Indies end the day 2-2-9 for 5. Bad light have saved them.
And rain.
Bad light and rain have saved the day. So it's driven by Keithstone down toward mid-on for a single. Slight misfield by Belazar, but no harm done. John has his 31st. It's 88. 88 the score. 88 for 4. At the end of 14, they've slowed them right down. 88 for 4. Just 5 off that over. Very good over for the young man.
And Spartans would have been at what position at that time?
At the end of 14 Spartans, they were 106 for 2. They need runs quickly.
Yes. Brought the pressure back on themselves by ill shots, ill running. But kudos to that young man. He deserved the 1 wicket. He deserved more. But he has got 1 in that particular column, which matters.
Ramraj is going to continue, I believe. Ramlash Ramraj, right arm around to bowl to Richardson. He is back and pulling over the short and wicket fielder. Wants one, looking for a second, it's not there. It's a very good fielder on the boundary. I must say, Keithstone he's filling up the scorecard. I'm running out of space for him. He's only on 32, and I'm running out of space for Keithstone Richardson. He's scoring nothing but singles. I think he has 1 boundary in the entire innings. So there from the start, as the bird has come to join us on commentary. The bird just wanted a better view. Here comes Ramraj. He's into bowl to right, and with his typical style, he turns it into the leg side. It will be a single.
You give the bird a chance, he'll come and sit on your shoulder.
Wouldn't mind at all. "90 is up. 90 is up. They need 61 more. Ramraj into ball. As Kishon is back and pushing into the outside.
Singles are not going to do it.
Singles are good, but not at this stage. Not right now. The run rate is approaching 12.
Yes.
It's coming up on 12 and over. It is 60 from just over 5 overs. Right, going for a big heave. That's what you need, but you need contact as well. You need to connect with the ball when you swing that big. Targeting that cow corner gap. Ramraj again is into ball to Rolando Wright, and Wright is getting one that's coming off the outer portion of the bat down to third man. They're going to come back for 2. He bowled well, but that's not good fielding there by David. Gave away an extra run. Wright has 4. It's almost to 93. That's going to be Ramraj again. Right arm over to bowl, and Wright is forward pushing stylishly. Need him in Trinidad. Oh, he looked very good there to the off spinner. That's going to be the end of the over. At the end of over number 15, 93 before.
Bat and pad close together, which is what we don't see from our West Indian batsmen.
It's what Josh De Silva needed today. The way he got out, it was not good at all. Went driving, bat was one way, pads were another way, middle stump was out of the ground.
And then the vice captain driving, pad one way and the batter next way. Ball going straight and taking.
Taking the outside edge, yes, Jermaine Blackwood
Right.
fell.
You got to cover your line. You did not cover the line at all.
I think we need Rolando Wright to give the West Indies batters a course on how to keep your bat and your pad right next to each other, but not in this format. It's going to be Durham to finish out now. He bowls 3 in the power play. He's going to bowl his 4th now, the 16th over. It's Durham. He's into bowl. Looking for the reverse sweep. It's going to get past the short third man and run down the hill. It will get close to the boundary, and it will get into the boundary. In fact, where's this been all day? Kishon with a boundary. Score moves to 97. Kishon is on 37.
Yes.
Pull out the reverse sweep. A very good shot. To the left-handed spinner Darrell Durham. He's moved the third man a bit finer as his backhand pulled down toward the long on region. It's just a single. I must say I'm 1 square away from being officially out of space for Kishon. He's on 38 right now. I guess I'll have to turn to the back side of the page or something, I don't know. He's got a lot of singles. A whole lot of singles. If he's going to play this sort of innings, you need someone taking the run rate at the other end. I don't know if the Revolution have that batter right now. Chopping this one, coming off the under edge and evading everything, running toward a short leg region for no run. Durham again from this the commentary box end. Left arm around to bowl to Wright. Oh, Wright is playing some elegant strokes for no run. Came forward and pushed that one suddenly into the offside. But it's straight to the man Damian Williams. The keeper by trade, Williams. I guess he's better in the field than Randall Langville, so... Here comes Durham again to bowl to right. Oh, that's elegant. That's a lovely shot. But it's straight to the offside for a single. If you look, his technique for for red ball cricket is superb. Bat and pad right next to each other. It's textbook defense.
Yes.
But it's just a single.
And running on the stroke too.
He's up to 5. The first half ends over in New York. It's 2-0 for Manchester United up against Arsenal. Playing a very good game up in New York. The two English sides.
Yeah.
Looking for the reverse sweep again. Getting the reverse sweep again. That's a lovely shot there by Keithstone Richardson. That's 4 more.
Got it nice this time. Properly timed, properly placed.
The 100 is up. 103 the score here. At the end of 16, 103 for 4. They require 151 for victory. Keithstone up to 42. It's 103 for 4. So for the 48 required for victory scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's been a correction. So it's not 150 for victory, it was 148 that was scored by the Spartans. So only 149 needed to victory. So just the 46 runs required now. 46 required from 4 overs. Well, put some bat on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you need to swing and swing big. We can't afford any more defensive
11
strokes.
points.
Changing bowling. It's going to be spin. It's going to be spin. Maybe Ramraj again. Not sure. Has Ramraj bowled out yet? Yes, it's not Ramraj. It's Madwa who's a new bowler. Madwa's the bowler. The first one went for a single there by right. It's going to be Madwa. I did say that I think he can bowl. He just looks like one of those opening batters that bowl spin as well. It's become a rarity in this day and age. We saw a lot of them in previous years. And an opening batter who could also bowl. He's bowling leggies. That was a leggy there. Bowled an off spinner first. And a leggy on that occasion completely caught Keithstone off guard. Keithstone up to 43. The score up to 105. Right is back and cutting authoritatively straight to the man at a deep cover boundary for a single. Go to the side of the page to get Keithstone because I've officially run out of space. Keithstone is 43. It's going to be some leg spin and going for the reverse super. There's too much bounce on that occasion. Keithstone can't make contact.
That is what I've been watching here for this bowler. He's tall, he's bowling it from right over, and he's able to get the bounce and turn.
He's bowling leggies to the left-hander, and
Gone this
they
time.
want the stumping.
Whoa.
Umpire says not out. That's
Whoa.
quick work behind the stumps there by Langville.
I still think he was a little too slow. I think he was still a little too slow, the keeper.
Claxton, were you by any chance a wicket keeper?
Yes.
You can just tell. You can just tell. Because all wicket keepers believe that the other keeper was too slow.
He was too slow. Started as a keeper, opening batsman. Then I dropped the keeping and bowled.
This one is short and pulled. It's going to be behind square. It's going to be 4
Nice
runs.
shot. Nice shot.
He shot up to 47.
It was too short this time, and he utilized it, pounced on it, got what he wanted, a boundary.
Here was the kickoff behind us at the RAJTC. But at the end of 17, it is 110. 110 for the loss of 4.
110 needing 39.
Need 39 required for victory from 3 overs. I wasn't too good in math, I think that's 13.
13.
I think that's 13.
13 points. 13.0. Flat.
13. Needed per over. It is going to be a change in bowling. It's going to be the skipper, Penroy David. Going to pick up the attack now. Bowling is spin. He was bowling pace last time I saw him. But I think they've come to realize that during the West Indies, just bowl right arm slow or left arm slow. It's going to work. You don't need to spin the ball. Just bowl it slow. It doesn't matter. Just bowl it slow. It will work. West Indian cricketers have it's a chronic issue really playing slow bowling. David short pulled down toward long on. It's a single. 111 the score. Right is on to 8. Kishon is 47. 3 away from his half century. As the field changes over. 3 men deep on the leg side. A deep square leg, a deep mid wicket, and a deep long on. A long off and a deep cover as well. David lights one up. Kishon puts it into the gap. They want 2 and they will come back for 2.
Little too much for the little lad.
Goes on to 113. It's 49. That's Richardson. He's been there the entire innings from start to finish. Approaching his half century. If he was playing ODI cricket, would have been a very well played half century. This is T20. He needs to be a bit faster. David, the ball to Richardson, who was back cutting authoritatively down to the cover boundary. That's a single. That's 50 for Kishon Richardson. A very circumspect 50, but 50 nonetheless for the young man.
Yep. That should have come in a winning cause. It's not yet over, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Didn't have much support around him either. As the right is back and pulling, dropping short of the man there at the mid-wicket boundary. It is going to be a single. Jamil Mohammed down there is doing some very good work.
Yes.
Jamil Mohammed and Akeem Saunders have done some very good fielding work today. David into bowl. Richardson wants the scoop shot now. Goes forward, connects just a bit. He'll get a single as a man at short third came for it. Kishon now gets the applaud and raises his bat from his teammates. He has a 50. His 51st run. So it's going to be David now to bowl to right. Right, putting this one along the ground. Mohammed comes across again.
Too short.
And it's a misfield this time. And right sends Kishon back. Right, you need the runs. You've been there a lot shorter than Kishon. He should be able to get back. I think Wright wants to strike, I guess.
I don't think he recognized that the misfield had taken place that early. And so he didn't bother to take on the second run.
At the end of 18, just 7 of the over, 117 for 4. 2 overs left to get to 149.
32 needed. Gotta get 2 big overs, 16 apiece.
Well, I think they've had 1 over that's gone for more than 16 runs the entire innings. One over went for 18. That was over number 3, and that's it. It's going to be off the outside edge there as
nice fielding.
Just a single.
He read the bounce well.
The Wadwa continue. I need to get his name right. It's Mrinal Wadwa.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of consonants in there, vowels in weird places. Mrinal Wadwa. Mrinal Wadwa. He's in again, right arm over the wicket to bowl to Kishan, who's slugging this one. It's going to drop short, and that's very good fielding there by Mohammed to keep it within the constraints.
Bounds, yeah.
Just a single. 119 now. Oh, you need runs, you need runs, you need runs. Not really mathematically impossible, but it's going to take a miracle.
Well, you need a Lance Clues now.
It's more leg spin or the off spin from Wadwa. He's bowling right arm over the wicket. As it's a reverse sweep, it wraps him on the pads and he's gone.
Yes.
Well, the man right, he was camped literally in front of his middle stump, and the umpire had no issue sending him away, and right had no issue walking away. Reverse super tempted there by Rolando Wright, but nowhere near the position to hit it. He was pretty much standing straight with both of his pads in front of his stubs.
So play straight.
Well,
oh my goodness.
It was interesting to say the least. It's going to be Damani Hodge. As few deliveries. You can strike the ball, Damani Hodge. You can't strike it.
I know that from primary
take that because 120 is up, so it's 29 now required. Short and cut into the upside. They'll get just a single. Very good walk.
Nice fielding, very aggressive, picked up cleanly and waited to see if they were going to chance the second one.
121 now. 121 the score. Needing 149 to victory. Ward went to ball. Kishan Richardson is slugging. This one could get into the gap. No, it will not. Man at the mid-wicket boundary, and Durham comes across, does the fielding.
Cool and calm.
Just a single. Dealing in singles and singles alone right now. Take a Herculean last over, unless Hodge has something planned at the end of this over. Wadwa. The ball to Hodge, it's cut away, and they'll get a single. This team would be very good in an ODI setting because they like taking singles. They can score a lot of singles, but boundaries are an issue. At the end of 19, 123. 1, 2, 3 for 5.
They need 26 in the final over. Final over.
26 from 6 deliveries. We've seen more impossible situations happen.
Take a miracle today.
26 from 6. It's going to be the captain, Kenroy David. just in conversation with the umpire. David now. Field has not changed. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, deep cover. 4 and 5 out. It's slow, and that's helped away down toward the deep square leg fielder. It's just a single. Now 25 from 5. 25 needed from 5. Keithstone has carried his bat through the innings. He's on to 53, I believe, scorer. As it's David. This one is a flight also island of the off stump and barring a no ball or a wide. I think it's safe to call this one. This one down the track, it's hit high, not very far, and Belazar comes across and does the fielding, and now it's mathematically impossible.
Yep.
On to 125. Up to 125. They need 24 from 3.
Definitely.
They need 8 runs above, which is not possible.
Unless it's going to hit it real high and get 8.
It's gone high and it's going to be out. Mohammed has done some very good work and he's taken a very good catch. That's the end of the Mani Hodges innings, and he's going to go for 3. It's 1-2-5, 1-2-5 for 6.
Well, the approach which I said, and we were together when we started, that if they do not get boundaries, picking the gaps, they would have to run well. They did run well, but the boundaries were lacking, and they lost. Involved more. Didn't. And it was just too many singles and twos. Send that innings to the West Indies, my brother, it will help.
They definitely need it.
In a 50-over game.
Flighted, and I think, is he stumped? No, he's not stumped. Not stumped, it says the umpire is at point right now. A final ball of the day, I do believe. And that's victory really for the General Auto Spartans. Henry David with the field pretty much in. Last ball of the day to Carlisle Hughes. To this delivery, it's wide. Hughes is driving it to the man at point. Hughes is not going to bother to take the run. They won't bother with the run. They will end their innings 125 for 6. And the General Auto Spartans, they will have victory by some 23 runs.
And it will be 2-1 in their favor in terms of wins versus this team.
The General Auto Spartans.
And I did say at the early, and I'll say it now, I think these two teams will be the teams that will make it to the finals.
The Spartans are batting first. It was a very good innings by Akeem Charles, scoring 63, propelling his side to 148. 148 for 4. Longville came in at the end and scored some good runs with the man Rinald Wadu. They both got to the 20s.
Yes.
And got this side to 148, and then in reply, Sean got a brisk 22. But there wasn't much else outside of Keyshawn Richardson, who carried his bat all the way through for a solid but not spectacular 54
Right.
not out. And they'll end their innings 125, 125 for 6.
They're going to have to revisit their approach when it comes to chasing. This is the second time I've seen them chase and chase poorly. So they're going to have to revisit their approach when it comes to chasing.
That's going to be all for us here. A doubleheader at the JRWP. Your winner in this final encounter, the General Auto Spartans, by some 23 runs. Join us tomorrow. We will have more cricketing action here at the JRWP. But for now, we will take you back to Master Control.
Thank you for being with us.